Resources. Register today at ncsavin.org. That's ncsavin.org. This message is from the North Carolina Department of Public Safety.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. One day after the Colts offense struggled yet again, the team fired coach Frank Reich. Indy's dropped 3 in a row, is 3-5-1 on the season. One of the biggest issues for Reich throughout his nearly 5-year Colts tenure, the inability to find a successor following franchise quarterback Andrew Luck's retirement in 2019. Reich's dismissal, a shock to Pro Football Hall of Famer Michael Irvin.
I know they're not doing well right now, but Frank's a hell of a coach. And I'm going to tell you right now, I guarantee you Frank will be on the short list to get a job again real soon. I thought he had compiled a pretty good team there. The only thing, Ryan, that I didn't like was how they kept going to the well, trying to rekindle a fire in all these old guys at quarterback.
Among those veterans in Indy's QB carousel, Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, former Colts center and ESPN analyst Jeff Saturday named Colts interim coach. Giants safety Xavier McKinney injured his hand in an ATV accident while on vacation in Cabo during the bye week. He's expected to miss several weeks. NBA, Brooklyn's Ben Simmons says he'll return from knee soreness tonight against Dallas. He's been out the last 4 games.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. That's check. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy coming to you live from the Ingles Studio as always, and we are heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. You can take us with you everywhere you go and see our happy faces on this Victory Monday here in the Sportsocracy. On YouTube, just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat, give a shout out for your team if it's a Victory Monday, or, you can bash your team if it's a
Panther fans, we're looking right at you. And there's no way that this show could start other than nobody circles the wagons like the Jets, Jets.
Jeremy's Jets knocking off the Buffalo Bills yesterday, and the Georgia Bulldogs. Old Rocky Flop was in full effect down in Athens, Georgia on Saturday. It is a happy day. I'm not going to mention the fact that my other team won yesterday because I'm not real excited about that. Because, it sucks to suck, and we still suck. But yeah, there it is. It is a Victory Monday here in the Sportsocracy, and we got Monday Night Football coming up tonight. We'll have your Monday bangers coming up at the end of the program. Jeremy Greene getting you all the best bets for Monday Night Football. Baltimore Ravens, New Orleans Saints. I told Jeremy earlier, I'm actually really looking forward to this game.
And I immediately asked, for why? For why are you?
2 words. Roquan Smith.
And that will be.
I just want to see what he does. I just want to see what he brings to the table with that Baltimore Ravens defense. And, I also feel like there's a shot that this game's going to be pretty entertaining.
It'll be all right.
It'll be all right.
It'll be all right.
It'll be
you know what it won't be?
What's that?
It will not be the Jets.
No, it will
with
not.
the biggest win of the weekend. Let's go. I don't know that I've been that happy after a Jet win in a decade.
Yeah, no, I don't think you should be.
I had Asheville Police Chief David Zach sitting right beside me, and I was like, I'm going to be so humble today. And that was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Today is not yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Humble is gone. Because that is a set of dogs on that defense.
Yes, it is.
That is a set of D-O-double-G dogs.
Yep. And speaking of dogs, let's hit the opening drive. The opening drive brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Check them out at 629 Brevard Road. You can go by, check out the showroom, all of the vehicles that they've got out there. If you need to buy a car,
sell a car,
trade
in a car.
Yeah,
if it has to do with cars, Fred Anderson Nissan, 629 Brevard Road. Tell them the guys at Sportsocracy sent you, and they will give you $250 extra on your trade.
That they will. And yes, the Jets getting the monumental win. Tom Brady setting new records in one of the worst games you will ever see in your entire life. Unfortunately for the Carolina Panthers, yesterday did not go well. Panthers plus 7.5.
Poor Alex S. He made a wager with me on that game, and he sent me an obscenity in the second quarter. And I showed it to Tank, and I went, yeah, that went about how I thought it was going to.
Yeah. We will get into all the highlights and lowlights of yesterday's football. The Green Bay Packers, holy
yikes. You need to stop doing that.
Yeesh.
All of that.
Yeesh. I won beat the Chief this week, despite the worst pick of the week.
Yeah, guess what? Hook's coming back this week. There will not be 3 ties in any other week that I'm doing this. I promise you that.
We did have 3 pushes this week. So with a 5-3-3 record, I gained my game back, and we're all tied.
I do feel like you shouldn't be allowed to gloat. Because you did have the Carolina Panthers, which might be the new Jets plus 7.
You know what? If Joe Mixon hadn't found the fountain of youth, then
was PJ Walker still playing quarterback? Because at the end of the day, he does not play defense, and he had 9 whole yards, 9 of them, 9 of them.
He did. Look, sometimes you miss. And I missed.
If you watched our Sunday show and you played Justin Fields, you're welcome.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. The winner of our battle for the belt this week, the DFS contest. Who was it?
Michael Bailey. First 2-time winner.
He had
Justin Fields and Joe Mixon, which means the rest of us were just sitting here going, well, this was fun. This was fun for an hour, and we have lost.
Yeah, it was a top 5 finish for me once again in the DFS contest, so I felt pretty good about that. It was a good weekend all around. We'll do the daily draft coming up at the top of the 3rd hour of the program, and I'll get the first pick because I smoked Jeremy on that one. I had all the best games.
Well, I also got a little housed that I had Rocky Flop and Georgia
and Clemson.
Yeah, about that.
That did not go well.
Clemson fans have not been enjoying me on social media for the last couple of days.
No.
You remember that thing I said that Clemson was going to lose a game that didn't make any sense?
Uh-huh.
Big dog. Strikes again.
How about the other one? Yeah, that did not go your way. Georgia Bulldogs. Back to number 1 this week after beating Tennessee, and not just beating, I mean smoked them.
Okay, calm down with
Excuse
the
me?
smoked them.
Excuse me?
Calm down with the smoked them. Okay, Florida State smoked Miami. That was 45-3 is smoking somebody.
Oh, no,
when they have 8 first downs in a game, that's a smoking.
What is it Jeremy always tells you? You won by 2 scores. You smoked somebody. Okay. All the way in. Was that game ever in doubt? No, sir, it was not. I mean, after the opening kickoff.
Armchair and I were giving out just pure bangers
Yes,
in the fantasy stream yesterday.
Yes, you were. So it was a good weekend, I felt like, and hope you all enjoyed the football as well.
And here's the thing. You know what I learned yesterday? 3 of the 4 best teams in the AFC are in the AFC East. I still fully believe the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the NFL. And the Jets and the Dolphins are not far behind them.
I don't.
But Zach Wilson, I don't care. I do not care. With 8 minutes to go, the New York Jets looked at Buffalo and went, we're going to tell you exactly what we're doing, and you're not going to be able to stop it. And they didn't.
Nope. That defense is
it's unbelievable.
Awesome.
I don't know that I've ever seen a young defense that good. And it could have gone off the rails because Sauce got burned on the first play of the game. And I looked at you and went, we're off to a less than ideal start.
But then what happened?
They got him right.
They settled in. Josh Allen made some major mistakes in that game, and the Jets end up the victor 20-17 over the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, it's so good.
And so now you have the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, and the New York Jets.
And I'll be honest with you, the Patriots aren't far off.
No,
I'll say the Patriots. And look, you didn't walk away from yesterday going, well, look how good we are. No, you walked away from that going, Frank Reich, I hope you're renting. And today, bye-bye. We'll talk about that in the next segment.
But, after Jeremy's little letdown against the New England Patriots, you feeling better? Are you feeling better about your team
Oh,
now?
yeah, because Mike LaFleur, I have this funny feeling that he played the old game of we're going to put 8 offensive linemen on the outside of the tackles, and Zach Wilson, if you run out of this, we're going to let them hit you as hard as they can. Because he played within himself. And that team is terrifying.
When your quarterback doesn't turn the ball over, you are going to win many games.
That defense is really, really, really good.
Yes, they are.
And look, Buffalo's really, really good. That very easily could have gone a different way. And I've heard a lot about, well, Josh Allen turned the ball over 3 times. Yeah, he did. He also got hit about 50 times.
I was going to say, but why? But why? I mean, this wasn't just Josh Allen having an Aaron Rodgers day.
No.
This was the New York Jets defense putting all the pressure on Josh Allen and making him make mistakes.
I'm going to say this as somebody that has watched every snap of New York Jets football this year. The New York Jets defense plays as though none of their mothers hugged them enough. They are angry, they are evil, and they take great pleasure in it. Bryce Huff, dog. And that's probably 90% of the people listening to the show don't even know who that is.
Yep.
Would you like to hear the list of pass rushers in the NFL that have a higher pass rush win rate than him?
I would love to.
Would you like to hear it again? End of message, repeat the line.
Wow.
Micah Parsons, Von Miller, all of them. None of them have a higher pass rush win rate than him.
Jeez.
Undrafted free agent out of Memphis. And this is what can happen. Yeah, I heard, I think it was Connor Hughes this morning that said, if you're a draft nerd and you don't like the Jets, you're steering into the wrong skis. Because that's how a team can revitalize itself. You watch all these other teams that are trying to build, they're trying to make chicken salad out of chicken excrement. One of those teams is in Chicago. We'll talk about that later. I have heard just way too many people that apparently don't watch games or only see what they want to see. And that's a team that's formidable. Do I think they can win a Super Bowl? No, I don't. I think Buffalo can. I'm getting to the point of I think Miami might be able to. Everything would have to break your way. But the AFC is very, very daunting. It's a very, very good conference. A lot of good teams. There's going to be good teams that miss the playoffs. I was going through it this morning. I could make the argument of the 12 best teams in the NFL, 9 of them are in the AFC. And 2 of them may or may not have quarterbacks. I don't know, and I'm not sure that I care.
Right. Philly Cheesesteaks wants to know in the YouTube comments, can the Eagles finally be on top of the power rankings this week? Yes. The answer should be yes, right? I mean, I know we're going to do power rankings tomorrow on a Power Rankings Tuesday as we do.
You're going to have to hang out. If you're watching the YouTube stream, we got new graphics. Tell you what's coming up. We'll have new graphics for power rankings tomorrow.
I feel like this is something we're going to fight about, and
it's fine.
I'm all here for it.
It's fine.
I am all here for it. Philly Cheesesteak, I will tell you, I'm on your side. I think it's time. I think it's time for the Philadelphia Eagles to be on top of the power rankings, but we will get into that on Power Rankings Tuesday tomorrow, right here at 3 on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy's Jets going to be very high on that list.
Jets.
Teams that won't be very high on that list, obviously the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the LA Rams,
the Indianapolis Colts.
The Indianapolis Colts. And, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Green Bay Packers, a lot of teams. When you have so many plus stories in the NFL, you're obviously going to have the flip side. And there are a lot of teams that we just didn't expect to be in that bottom tier that have pretty much cemented themselves there now.
And one of them has a new coach.
That's right, they do. Frank Reich, no longer the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. And if you haven't heard the news, they have a new interim. And we'll tell you who it is coming up next.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
The midterms are here. With so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis you need. Our reporters are on the ground. Steve Kornacki is at the big board breaking down the races. On election night, Rachel Maddow and our Decision 2022 team will give you a greater understanding as results come in. And the next day, Morning Joe will provide perspective on what it all means for the future of our country. Watch coverage of the 2022 midterms, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit GoWithTheFacts.com.
At Target, you can shop with confidence knowing that if you spot a better Target price, we'll match it with our Holiday Price Match Guarantee. Pick up the hottest gifts of the season, holiday hosting essentials, and so much more right now. If you spot a better Target price, we'll match it on items purchased between October 6th and December 24th. Get the gifts you want at prices you love all season long with Target's Holiday Price Match Guarantee. Get price match policy details on Target.com. Some exclusions apply.
The Sportsocracy.
Hello, everybody. This is good old JR Jim Ross, WWE Hall of Famer. Boy, these boys are smart. You talk about goofier than a pet coon. Let me tell you something. This show is a legitimate slobber knocker.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and the Indianapolis Colts have done it. They have fired
Frank Reich.
their head coach. Frank Reich is out as head coach of the Indianapolis Colts, and today they have announced they have a new interim coach. And is it the offensive coordinator? No.
I didn't have one
fired. He got fired.
Is it John Fox?
It's not John Fox.
Oh. Shoot.
They decided to go with the one, the only, Jeff Saturday. Former North Carolina Tar Heel, and of course has been heard pretty much every weekend on this here program on the Tar Heel Sports Network, in the booth with Jones Angel during the Carolina football games. Obviously also has his many guest appearances on ESPN with all of their shows, but that is your choice for interim coach.
That's an interesting one, considering this is an offense that he is not familiar with.
Well, I mean, how familiar is he? I don't know. He has been a consultant for the team, but I don't know what that means. I don't know what his level of knowledge of the current scheme is or anything like that.
He is probably familiar enough with what's going on. This is a figurehead move. There is no doubt in my mind that's exactly what this is, because
this is a Johnny Rah-Rah move.
Oh, no doubt. This is a Johnny Rah-Rah move. You had two former coaches on your staff, in Gus Bradley and John Fox, and you didn't trust either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you needed somebody that would curry fan favor.
Rally the troops.
And that's what you get with Jeff Saturday. And look, I don't really have a problem with the hire. I don't know who the guy is. I can tell you Frank Reich's not the guy. And I've heard all of these things about is Frank Reich the problem? Is the front office the problem? I think very highly of Chris Ballard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the roster is okay. You just had deficiencies that were really easy to pinpoint from very early on.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I took away from this, congratulations, Tennessee Titans, you have won this division.
I don't think that was ever
with election
question.
night coming tomorrow. I feel like we can call this one with only 50% of precincts reporting.
We can call the race now,
and that's with Malik Willis, who is awful.
Mm-hmm. He is a very bad quarterback, and we'll talk about that at the top of the 4 o'clock hour as we will get into the Sunday night football game. Then Titans and the Chiefs. But Frank Reich out. Obviously, his tenure did not go well with the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, he was above 500 for the regular season. He was 1-2 in 2 playoff appearances with the team. But how can you forget how last season ended? Knowing you only had to win one of your last 2 games.
And one of them was against the rudderless Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm, and you lost both of the games, missed the playoffs, and then you started out this season in just the worst possible way.
Well, I mean, this is the Jeremy rule. Frank Reich was supposed to be the offensive guru.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Ehlinger threw for 103 yards yesterday.
Yeah,
he was also their leading rusher. Just awful. I mean, New England dominated them.
Mm-hmm.
121 total yards. That's what the Colts had yesterday. And before you tell me, well, it's because the Patriots are so good, they had 2 or 3. All right? If you watched more than 5 minutes of that game and you're not a fan of one of those 2 teams, I'm going to need you to explain to me why.
Right. Especially seeing as how it was on while the Jets were pulling the biggest upset in the NFL this year.
Best team in the AFC, New York Jets? No big deal.
Yeah, stop that.
No big deal. I mean, it's fine. You can. Oh, it's the 85 Bears. That's what it is. And it feels good. It feels good today.
Oh, dear. You talk about me being insufferable.
Oh, you have. We've only just begun.
Oh, I know, because he's been building this up for 30 years.
Oh, yeah, and we're on a bye this week. So we have. You got 2 weeks of this. Baby!
Wonderful. Obviously, I don't think there's a miraculous turnaround coming for the Indianapolis
No, and the Colts know it. That's why you would bring in a coach like this.
Agreed.
You never see teams do this. Why? Because this is the ultimate white flag in the air. We know we can't do it. Let's just try to curry some favor
and draft a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And draft a quarterback. Somebody in the chat asked mock draft. Well, by the time I finally got it done, we were through a college football Saturday, and there were players that need to be added. So, lovely graphics around me now. That will be for the mock draft. That's why I originally did them.
Okay.
And I went, hey, that could be fun for every day. Let's just do that every day.
Let's just do that every day. So the mock draft will be coming at some point.
Sometimes Jeremy overloads his apple cart, and he can't get all the apples to the top of the hill, so you got to let some out and let the deer have those.
Colts offense was so listless.
It was awful.
That first, I mean, and it wasn't just yesterday. Obviously, yesterday was really bad. I mean, they were 0 for 14 on third downs. I feel like that's hard to do. I mean, that's like Tom Brady 2022 Tampa Bay Buccaneers football. And that's bad. Bad. But it had been so bad the entire season, and they fired Marcus Brady last week, the offensive coordinator.
Which felt like, that just felt like a sacrificial lamb move. You're firing the offensive coordinator, you didn't even call the plays.
It was. Let's see, it was basically he is the scapegoat. Marcus Brady's the scapegoat. If things turn around, fine. And then finally yesterday, after losing 24-3 to the New England Patriots, Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard finally went, okay, this is done. No more Frank Reich. I still feel like Frank Reich is going to be at the top of the list for a job next year.
He'll be discussed. I don't think you can immediately hire a guy after this. I mean, to me, there's just much better candidates out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give you 5 or 6 off the top of my head. I mean, Ken Dorsey is obviously the most obvious.
He's going to Carolina. We don't need to
Mike Kafka's another one that's very obvious.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the retread coach.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't do much for me. I don't think it wins the press conference, which I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but it's part of it. It's part of playing the game.
Mm-hmm. It's not as important as in college. Winning the press conference is way more important in college because that plays into recruiting.
Yeah, like Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Kelly won the press conference. Then it went horribly ugly, and now all of a sudden it looks brilliant. I was around a slew of LSU fans on Saturday night. I said, this is why you hired Brian Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
He's a jerk. Nobody likes him. He's weird. This is why he's here. Because this is not a super talented roster, and you just beat Alabama.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
And the world is a better place for it.
Every second of it.
Right. The world is a better place for it. When we can say, with 3 weeks to go in the regular season in college football, that Alabama is not going to make the college football playoff, we're all better off for it. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Let's get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Now, over the weekend, so many great things happened. I mean, Georgia winning, Florida State beating the just bejesus out of Miami.
They beat the soul clean out of Miami.
They did. Clemson went down. I mean, there was so much to talk about in the football world. Were you aware that there was a World Series champion?
What is a World Series?
Yeah.
Is that soccer thing they're doing in Qatar?
The Houston Astros won the World Series over the weekend, and nobody even kind of cares about it. However, we did have a new record set, and it was all Mattress Mac. Jim McIngvale of Gallery Furniture that continues to put big wager after big wager on sporting events. He won the largest bet or series of bets on the Houston Astros in the World Series. He had a combined $10 million in bets at various sports books riding on the Houston Astros to win the World Series with an average odds of 7.5 to 1. He took home $75 million.
That's a good day.
That is a damn good day.
Much better than my day on Tennessee.
100%. Nobody.
Because that was minus all the monies.
It is the largest legal sports betting payout in U.S. history. The largest of his wagers was $3 million that he placed at Caesars Sportsbook at 10 to 1 odds on the Houston Astros. And Caesars put out a statement that said, what can we say? We just wrote the biggest check in sports betting history to Mattress Mac for $30 million. Would we do it again? You bet. While Mac may have won this round on the field, we're proud of how we teamed up to support first responders and military veterans in Houston, Philly, and Atlantic City. And to Mac, we tip our Astros cap and remind him that he can now support His Texans and Rockets both attractively priced at plus 100,000 to win a championship.
You could give him plus 100 jillion on both of them. They're not going to do it.
They would love to be able to win some of that money back from Mattress Mac.
He might be a little loosey-goosey with his bets, but I don't think he's going to be that loosey-goosey.
No, not a chance. But good for him. They asked Mattress Mac afterwards, what are you going to do now? And he said, I'm going to go get on an airplane. I'm going to fly to Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. I'm going to get all that money and say, Hail Caesar. $75 million. It's
a nice day.
It's a hell of a good day.
Now, if you're a wagering sort and you listen to this program on Friday, one of the bangers, 11-7 against the spread this week, no big deal. I'm not gloating. You don't do that. Just 11-7 against the spread, no big deal. One of the bangers was SMU against Houston, which set an FBS record for the most points ever scored in a non-overtime game. The final was 77-63. Tanner Mordecai of SMU accounted for 10 touchdowns. He threw 9 and ran for a 10th.
That's hard to do.
That's hard to do, but that's not the only record they set. That broke the previous record of 137, which was in 2016. Pittsburgh beat Syracuse 76-61. I can't believe either one of those teams scored that many points back then, but that's a story for another day. Fell just 6 points shy of the single-game record, including overtime, which was the famous Texas A&M LSU game in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I didn't know they broke. If you take Tanner Mordecai's 9 touchdown passes and add it to Clayton Tune of Houston's 7, they set a single-game record for most touchdown passes in a game. Previous record, 2014. Western Kentucky's Brandon Doty and Marshall's Rakeem Cato combined for 15.
Wow.
This game I was in a bar. Shocked. I know. Who's shocked? I spent a lot of time there this weekend.
Beat me to it.
Of course I did. How did I not know that was going to be your response to that? This game was on a small screen on the other side, and I found myself watching way more of it than I'm proud of.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I even really cared. I knew I was going to cover. But they just kept scoring.
But when something historic like that is going down, you got to pay attention to it.
They scored 8 touchdowns in the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
There was a touchdown every minute and a half. It was wild.
That's some arena football type stuff right there.
It was fun to watch.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. So the Carolina Panthers made a little road trip yesterday. It did not go well. We'll talk about it up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mild numbers continue here in the forecast for the top of the work week with high temps up in the 70s again for Tuesday. 52 degrees our low tonight, 71 tomorrow. Cooler Wednesday, Thursday in the 60s. And then we'll turn our attention to the south. Tropical moisture advertised to come up Friday. Could see some half-inch rains and breezy weather on Friday with temps in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell.
The rumors are true. Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell for a limited time. So if you've been craving those golden fries with their Mexican spices and that warm nacho cheese sauce you dip them in, go to Taco Bell and order some today. Contact store for participation, which varies.
The midterms are here. With so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis to give you a greater understanding. Watch coverage of the 2022 midterms, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? You know joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love, it affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 with locations in Asheville and in Greenville. Again, that's 828-333-9517.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Ahoy, matey! At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety, from your local catch to flavors from around the world. Wild sashimi tuna, Charleston crab cakes, mountains of shrimp, bourbon salmon, wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa. It's enough to make any salty sea captain ready to set a course for the bounteous treasure of the Ingles Seafood Department. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Let's open up the whole can of kick ass and kill them all. Let the paramedics sort them out.
Yesterday, the Carolina Panthers, well, I guess I should start on Friday. So on Friday in the Beat the Chief, I was so convinced that, there's some magic happening here with Carolina Panthers, and Cincinnati has not looked good, so it only made sense. 7.5's too much. Let's go Panthers plus the 7.5, and I felt good about it for a quarter.
I don't really know how you felt good about it for a quarter.
I mean, it was 7-0.
Mm-hmm. It was very obvious from early on, this is not going well.
And then the second quarter happened, where it immediately began, obviously, with another Cincinnati score to go up 14-0, and then Joe Mixon. Well, he found that one thing that all his fantasy owners have been begging him to find all season long.
The end zone.
That's right. Joe Mixon had himself a day yesterday against the Carolina Panthers. 153 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, also caught another touchdown. And Cincinnati won 42-21, only because they gave up in the fourth quarter and allowed the Carolina Panthers to score twice. It wasn't because Baker Mayfield came in and, the Carolina Panthers found something.
Baker had an 83 QBR against the Bengals backups. Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah.
This is not that hard to figure out. Sam Darnold's the starter.
He was activated
today.
Mm-hmm.
He is the starter. That's the way this goes. I know what P.J. Walker is, which is, oh, by the way, 3 of 10, 9 yards, 2 picks. 2 full coaching staffs looked at him and went, back up. That's what you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he is.
Actually, they looked at him and said, we're going to cut you. And then the 2 starters got hurt, and they went, I guess we got to keep him.
You're alive, so here's your roster spot.
Yeah, because there was no other way that was going to go down. P.J. Walker was not even going to be on this team.
No.
And then they had to keep him. And then it was cute. He found some success for a couple of weeks. And then yesterday happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's
wasn't great.
I mean, you don't have a lot to take away. So the Carolina Panther fans are we back down? Are we back down to earth now? Are we back down to no? We're not going to win this division.
Here's what I don't understand. So I had a kid that said something to me yesterday. He was wearing Panthers jersey. He looked very sad, and I had said something to the effect of, "Well, the Panthers. Somebody should probably inform them that they have a game that started like 2 quarters ago." And he came up to me and said, "I never thought I'd hear a Jets fan say." well, the Panthers didn't show up to play. And my immediate response was, bro, you are the Jets now.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to break this to you. You are the Jets. Now, your hope there is that Scott Fitterer is the right guy. I don't like a lot of the things I've heard. If he turned down 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick for Brian Burns, fire him.
Mm-hmm.
Fire him right now, because that is insane.
Yep.
No team in the NFL should do that. Now, whether it's true or not, I have no idea. No clue.
That was the latest report.
But that's insane.
That was the latest report at the end of last week, that there was also, because we had heard the first round picks. But on top of that, the report was that they had offered a second-round pick for next year.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have had a second-round pick next year, a first-round pick in 2024, and a first-round pick in 2025 for Brian Burns. I was out on the deal when it was just the first.
I wasn't out on the deal when it's 2 ones.
You get that second? Yeah, that's a travesty.
Well, I mean, and this is the reason that you don't do things like this. The arranged marriage in the NFL does not tend to work. And so if Scott Fitterer did not make this move because he was afraid he wouldn't be here to make those draft picks, that's not your job.
Exactly.
Your job is to improve this roster.
Mm-hmm.
That is how you keep your job. That's how you keep your job. And this is a team that, and look, I know there are a lot of you that think, well, they're only a quarterback away. I don't know that that's true. As a matter of fact, I'll go one step further than that. I know that's not true. The defense has good young pieces. You really need to hit on this quarterback. And you need some playmakers because you have. I mean, the Deontay Foreman thing's it's cute. He's played for 4 teams in the NFL, and there's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm. He can have his games, but for the most part, he's a backup running back.
When Raheem Blackshear and Terrace Marshall are your 2 leading receivers, you have a lack of weapons. Tommy Tremble scores one of your touchdowns. That's a lack of weapons. And the thing with Carolina for me is, if that's true, if the report is true, and it's widely out there, this is not just some no-name Twitter account put this out there. This is from heavy hitters of, yeah, this happened.
Mm-hmm.
You need to really look at every piece of the organization now. Because that's insane. There's not a player. Aaron Donald is barely worth that. Okay. Having to pay him
I get
as you go down the rabbit hole.
I had to think about it for a second, but I'm with you. Okay.
There's no player in this league that's worth that. There's not. I mean, a quarterback, yes. Everything else, no.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're getting to a point now where you have to look at starting to try to tear some of these things down. Who is the next coach going to be? But yesterday, it was the first time that you got shellacked. It will not be the last. This team is all in for a draft pick. You're not hiring Steve Wilkes is the long-term coach.
No.
You got the bump. You had the moment. You beat the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
You had your fun with Atlanta. And now look at your schedule. All right, you play Atlanta next week.
You got a shot.
You got a shot, but I don't like it. Then you're at Baltimore. Broncos, Seahawks. Steelers with TJ Watt back. Lions at the Bucks at the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go 3-14. So this is where this team is. You might get lucky. Might get lucky and go 4-13. That's where you're at. You're one of the worst teams in the league. Now you have to make this as attractive as humanly possible to a coach, because I'm telling you, this is going to be a competitive market. And the further time goes on, the more I'm realizing that.
Mm-hmm.
You got 2 in-season firings. That's not real common, especially not by the halfway point of the season, which is where we are.
Right.
And I'm not sure how much more attractive you are than – ask yourself this. Right now, you're the hot coaching candidate. You're Kafka or Dorsey or whoever is going to get all the calls. Which job are you taking?
Indianapolis.
And I don't know that it's all that close.
It's not close.
I mean, I have stalwart pieces in Indianapolis. I have an owner that has shown no fear of spending money and going hard in the paint. And I'm in an infinitely winnable division, of which the Panthers are too. I just don't know what the other teams are going to be.
I mean, because if you're going to go down the path, I know it's been bandied back and forth of do we go after an offensive mind, or do we stick with the defensive coaches? Do we go with I don't know, an Aaron Glenn or somebody like that?
I love AG, but that's don't do that.
I know. It was just the first name that came to my mind. Do we go with a defensive coach?
I'm talking about a defensive coach at all. I'm talking about a defensive coach at all. You need an offensive mind.
I agree. But I know it's been a big discussion, and I think you're going to go offense because that's the way the league is going. And so, yeah, I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts because I feel like they have – I mean, at least they have Jonathan Taylor and a better offensive line if you can get them all to work together. And I think Jeff Saturday – I think that's the bright side of this for me, of them bringing in Jeff Saturday, is that maybe he can do something with that offensive line because we know they have talent. They just haven't been able to block. But I'm taking the Indianapolis job if I've got a choice.
And then on the other side of this, the Bengals are starting to do that thing that I was scared of. They're not as good defensively as people make them out to be.
No.
Lou Amarillo gets a ton of credit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure it's always justified. I think he's a good coach. I think it's a good-ish defense.
Mm-hmm.
The offense is what's terrifying. And if you can get Joe Mixon going while Jamar Chase is out, and you carry that on, there's not many teams in the AFC that can beat you. And it's a good conference. That could be the only offense that can contend with Kansas City on high side.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to understand, they did this yesterday, and Joe Burrow wasn't even all that good. He had, 205 yards? I think he only completed 17 passes or something like that.
He didn't have to be.
I know.
I mean, when you've got the running game working like that, it's a fool's errand to try to do anything else.
Well, but this is one of those things it's kind of a misnomer. If this game was right in my sight line, it was on right beside the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
They started out with the intention of we got some advantageous matchups. Tyler Boyd, we talked about that in Fantasy Show,
mm-hmm.
and then they figured out, Joe Mixon in space. This is going nicely, and you almost saw the game plan change.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there wasn't a single runner that couldn't do something great every time they touched the ball for the Cincinnati Bengals. And
they averaged 9 yards a carry.
Yeah, and that'll be a major thing. That'll be a major thing for the rebuild or the addition or whatever you want to call this.
Call it what it is.
With the Carolina Panthers of how do we stop the run? Because that was awful.
We have a ton of money invested in this defense, and there's this misnomer that it's really good. It's not. You have good pieces. J.C. Horn is a very good piece.
Mm-hmm.
I think Derek Brown is good at times.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Burns is a good situational pass rusher. I like Jeremy Chin. And then, where do we go from there? There's a lack of talent. And you call it what it is. You sugarcoat it all you want to. There is a lack of talent on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And your hope is that there's a pairing, whether it's a GM and a coach that Fitterer believes in, whatever the case may be. You need to get a lot of talent in this room.
Carolina Panthers, they're not in the hunt anymore.
Yeah.
You were in the hunt for the division last week.
And there's another team in the NFL that I'm ready to throw the dirt on.
Really?
I'm ready to throw the dirt on them.
And we'll tell you who that is coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com
or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
I found the place to shop Black Friday, Kohl's. I earned Kohl's Cash on everything I bought. Got 15% off and save big with their early access deals like sweats for under $10, a throw blanket for just $8.49, and boots for $16.99. Did I mention these deals are for a limited time? Don't wait. Get more gifts and more savings at Kohl's. Select styles. Deals valid through November 10th. 15% offer valid through November 10th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Yellowstone, television's #1 show, returns on Paramount Network.
I, John Dutton, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the state of Montana against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Featuring an all-star cast led by Academy Award winner Kevin Costner.
The invasion is over.
They will fight you dirty.
Is there any other way?
As the Dutton family fights to protect their legacy, they'll learn power has a price.
Signing this is a declaration of war.
We're already at war.
Yellowstone returns Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern for an epic 2-hour premiere event exclusively on Paramount Network.
O'Reilly. See better and drive safer with Rain-X Advantage wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, purchase a pair of Rain-X Advantage wiper blades and get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate, plus 2 times O-Rewards points. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Sportsocracy.
One thing that you're going to have to remember, one most important factor, is to protect your quarterback, me.
Jeremy's ready to throw the dirt on one more NFL team, and it's the Los Angeles Rams.
They're not good.
They aren't good at all.
That end of game scenario with them, where you give Brady the ball back with 40-some-odd seconds left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've ever seen a defensive alignment that was as more resigned to we're going to lose as what I saw there.
Mm-hmm.
The defense can get chirpy all they want to. But, well, if the offense could score, you had every opportunity to win that game. And what did you do? In front of one of your best players. Jalen Ramsey was the target twice.
They went Charmin soft at the end of that game.
I mean, it was honestly like the Rams forgot, when they get out of bounds, the clock stops. What? How did we not think of that? Maybe we should have defended the inline.
Mm-hmm.
And McVay, I don't know that I've ever seen a coach that's just I got nothing. I don't know what to do anymore. That Bucs deep, look, I'm not overly impressed by what I saw there. I don't buy that team much.
I mean, you really shouldn't be. With all of the struggles that the Rams have, I mean, yes, there were turnovers forced yesterday, not as many as there could have been. I mean, I still saw play after play of you had a chance. You had a chance to pick this. I think there were 3 interceptions that got dropped yesterday by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. You sacked Matt Stafford 4 times. Congratulations. You probably should. If this was championship level defense against that offensive line, you should have racked up at least 7.
And it's not just the offensive line. Outside of Cooper Kupp, the rest of the team combined for 5 catches for 38 yards.
Mm-hmm.
That's pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Against a Buck defense that's not all that good.
In 44 seconds, Tom Brady did that thing that Tom Brady does. But it wasn't just Tom Brady. I mean, thankfully, for 44 seconds, the wide receivers and the other playmakers, and I use that term loosely, for the Buccaneers offense, they didn't do anything to screw it up. They actually caught the ball. So congratulations on that. But it was the NFL record now. Most game-winning drives for a quarterback in history. He passed Peyton Manning. Woo.
He also hit the 100,000-yard mark in passing, which we all knew was going to happen.
Woo.
It's just, it's milestones. Milestones matter.
Well, he's played for 500 years, so I'm...
Agreed. But they came back, and they winnabled the game. Cade Otton made a hell of a play. He had a great game yesterday.
Yeah, I talked about him a lot in the draft process.
Yeah.
There's a whole daggum lot of him.
Mm-hmm. He's been getting more and more involved in the offense, and he seems to be one of the most reliable receivers that Tom Brady has now. But, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. That game was more about the Los Angeles Rams losing it than it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning.
And you can see the fracture if you listen to these guys talk in the press conferences. There's a fracture in the locker room. I don't know what has happened. There is something, and I have a feeling we're going to know before it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
Something's happened here. There's a disconnect between every player in this franchise. Cooper Kupp's the only one that seems to say the right thing. They're just bad. At the end of the day, the LA Rams are just bad. I don't care about if you took if there was some way that you could get NFL Films to do an all-22 tape where you couldn't see who the teams were, you could be convinced that offense was the Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
That is how bad they look the vast majority of the time.
Yep.
They have one player. That is it. And he is empty calories. Now, you're swell, Coop, but you're just empty calories.
Mm-hmm.
And you look down that schedule, they still have to go to the Chiefs. They have to go to the Saints. And then a slew of other teams that have been as underachieving as they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good. This team is not making the playoffs.
No. I don't see a path for the LA Rams to make the playoffs. It was fun while it lasted.
But, yeah, you got one Super Bowl out of it. Was it worth it?
But I would say yes.
I'm not so sure I would agree with you. This team is going to be bad for a long time because not only are they not good, they're gutted capital-wise.
Mm-hmm.
And you just name me the young player on this team that you look at and go, that's a guy I really believe in.
You don't have one.
There you go. Because they don't have many. I mean, there are a few, but it would be getting really deep divey.
Ernest Jones.
That was the one that I had in my brain.
Right.
Other than that, there's just not a lot of guys you look at and go, oh, no, you're old, you're expensive, and you're not all that good.
And I think Darian Kendrick will be second.
But he's one of the ones that got obliterated on that on the game-winning drive.
Well, he didn't get obliterated. He's just too.
He's playing 20 yards off the receiver. That's getting obliterated.
But he's too physical. He's too physical at times, and that was what set up the game-winning touchdown. Oh God! And when they got that, when they had the penalty, and we wound up on the 1 yard line, I knew we were going to run the ball. I just knew that was coming. Thank God they didn't. Thank God they didn't, and Tampa Bay was able to get a win out of the deal. So guess what? Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in first place in the NFC South.
Woo! Which means you'll get a home playoff game where you can get just smoked by somebody.
No doubt about it. Last night, Sunday Night Football, we had a hell of a game between the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs, and well, there's one big, super obvious takeaway from last night's game. We'll tell you what it is up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mild numbers continue here in the forecast for the top of the work week with high temps up in the 70s again for Tuesday. 52 degrees our low tonight, 71 tomorrow. Cooler Wednesday, Thursday in the 60s. And then we'll turn our attention to the south. Tropical moisture advertised to come up Friday. Could see some half-inch rains and breezy weather on Friday with temps in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by News Nation. Chris Cuomo is back with a new show on a new network. Catch Cuomo weeknights on News Nation at 8 p.m. Eastern. To find News Nation on your television provider, go to newsnationnow.com/Channel Join us.
At Target, you can shop with confidence knowing that if you spot a better Target price, we'll match it with our holiday price match guarantee. Pick up the hottest gifts of the season, holiday hosting essentials, and so much more right now. If you spot a better Target price, we'll match it on items purchased between October 6th and December 24th. Get the gifts you want at prices you love all season long with Target's holiday price match guarantee. Get price match policy details on Target.com. Some exclusions apply.
We all share the responsibility to make sure North Carolina roads are safe for everyone. We can reduce the number of people hit or killed by vehicles. Visit watchformenc.org for more safety tips.
Paid for by NCDOT.
What if there was an app where you could listen to this radio station plus hundreds more from across the country? What if that app had every song from every artist that you love, along with the biggest podcasts in the world?
Impossible!
Well, we couldn't find an app with it all. So we made it. And then we made it completely free. The free iHeartRadio app is the future of audio, and it's available now in your app store. Listen to what you want, when you want, wherever you want to. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all the music, radio, and podcasts you love.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
I'm Christine Lisi. In the middle of his 5th season as head coach of the Colts, Frank Reich is out. Indianapolis fired Reich a day after the 26-3 loss to the Patriots and one of the worst offensive performances in franchise history. What plagued Reich's Indianapolis tenure? The constant turnover at quarterback since Andrew Luck's retirement in 2019, points out our Chris Canty.
The objective is to get a franchise quarterback. Until you get that guy, it's going to be hard to have sustained winning. Frank Reich is a decent coach, got a winning record, couple of playoff appearances in there. But why have they been on uneven footing? It's because they haven't been able to have stability at quarterback.
Chris Canty of Canty and Carlin. Reich had a different starting quarterback in each of his season openers in Indy. Former Colts center and ESPN analyst Jeff Saturday named Indy's interim coach. The Giants will be without safety and defensive play caller Xavier McKinney for several weeks. He injured his hand in an ATV accident in Cabo during the bye week. NBA, LeBron James out for the Lakers tonight against the Jazz with foot soreness. He's also recovering from an illness that affected him last week.
Halloween is over, but hiring is still a bit scary? Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy, always heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, live or on demand. Coming to you live from the Ingles Studio, and you can see us in the Ingles Studio on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get all the live alerts when there's content. You will get the alert whenever the mock draft is ready to come out. Fantasy Game Time Decisions show each and every Sunday morning. Note for this coming week, it will be another early start, 8:30 in the morning, as we have a 9:30 kickoff.
And we may or may not have some new toys for that.
We're hoping so. We are hoping so. We are efforting toward that for the Fantasy Game Time Decisions show, because 9:30 kickoff in Germany, the Seattle Seahawks will just boop my Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Boop them right on their little nose.
Boop them right on the nose. It's not going to be pretty. Anyhow, so Fantasy Game Time Decisions podcast tomorrow morning. You got the fantasy show with armchair commentary, David Smith and Jeremy Greene.
And speaking of armchair.
Yep.
I'm your huckleberry.
With the first super chat of the day, he said the AFC East is the most competitive division, period.
Yes.
And he's 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best division in football. That's what you're being sold the NFC East is.
Yes. I would agree with that.
Hmm? That is 4 teams, 3 of which play really good defense, 2 of which play really good offense. It's a good division.
Mm-hmm.
And we welcome Alex S. to the House of Reprehensibles.
Indeed. You can join as well after you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just hit that little join button. It's a meager penance to show your support.
And it gets you into the Discord with us, and you can throw out your takes and ask questions. I think it was Talmadge that was messaging me earlier today. It's like, yeah, that's how this works. You can ask questions anytime you want to.
Don't forget.
Sometimes you'll catch answers like you would have gotten last night, which was after about 27 domestic lights, and was very, very happy.
Don't forget you can join the Battle for the Belt competition, our weekly DFS competition on DraftKings. The link is in the description of the YouTube video today.
It will be there all week. It will be on Facebook.
Yep.
That is the contest. There will be no more recurring, no more emails, none of that. We're going to streamline this. One spot,
because over the last few weeks we have had some issue going on where we've had like 4 recurring contests, and some are jumping into this one, some are jumping into that one. We're dumbing it all down. One contest. Everybody join. Follow the link in the description of the YouTube video. And look, you don't have to play with us all year long. It only takes 1 week to win.
Ronnie Kilby got in last week. He'd only played a handful of weeks, won one, and he's in.
That's right.
And Michael Bailey has now won 2 weeks because he smoked us like a honey ham.
He did. Had both Jalen Hurts and Joe Mixon yesterday.
Justin Fields.
Or who did I say?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he didn't play yesterday.
Nope.
Excuse me. Justin Fields and Joe Mixon yesterday. That was the winning ticket.
You know what's not the winning ticket?
Justin Fields in one of my lineups.
Oh,
yesterday.
I did. I told you to a lot.
You did.
I just didn't play him in that, which made me very, very sad. You know who was not the ticket yesterday? Malik Willis.
No.
He is poopy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Very rarely does a quarterback ever shock me. It shocks me how bad he is.
Worse than Justin Fields?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. And here's the thing. You still almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs at home.
Mm-hmm.
You took him to overtime with no ability to throw. He has 11 completions in 2 games.
That's bad. But is it because he doesn't have any weapons?
Oh, stop.
I'm just asking the question.
Malik Willis could not hit water off a bridge. He is a terrible NFL quarterback. But when you have Derrick Henry and you have a defense that's improving to me by the week, I'm just calling it how I see it. That defense seems to be getting better every single week.
They are. Christian Fulton, he a dog.
Dog.
Yeah. That guy is getting really good.
They frustrated Kansas City. Look, I know Mahomes threw for 446 yards. If he throws 68 times, he's going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many yards that players not named Patrick Mahomes had rushing last night?
17.
So Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon, Michael Burton. They were the 4 that had carries.
17.
You're too high.
Ooh.
That's 14.
Yikes.
Yeah. That's pretty formidable.
Mm-hmm. It is.
13 carries, 14 yards.
The Tennessee Titans are just one of those teams that it may not look good to the modern NFL mind of they don't have the passing game, they don't stretch the field, but they have that monster running back that you just cannot stop. And they are super physical. And they will control the pace of the game if you give them the opportunity to. And
they have to win a specific way.
Yeah, they will just punch you in the mouth. But that doesn't play come playoff time. And that's the problem that they have.
Well, I mean, it can. It's just you can't get behind. The fact that they don't have weapons is really unsettling.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I get it. Malik Willis, he doesn't look good. You said at 11 completions in the first 2 games of his career as a starter. But he's throwing to me. He doesn't have anybody. Maybe if Treylon Burks comes back, then somebody will start. He said that after the game, too. They asked him about his passing stats, going 5 of 16 for 80 yards. And he said, I hope somebody gets open at some point because I can't keep doing this. And I went, oh, no. You're a rookie quarterback. I mean, it's
not
one
a good
thing.
one.
It's one thing for Aaron Rodgers to say stuff like that. Tom Brady, whoever. But you can't say that as a rookie.
No. I mean, and you also have to have just a little bit of a self-awareness where you look around and go, my QBR last night was 10. That's not on the receivers. That's me being bad. Bad. And Derrick Henry's averaged 7 yards a carry, and I'm still this bad. But that defense is good enough to carry them. They're going to win this division in a walk.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, they're not a team I want to see.
No. Nobody wants to play them.
I mean, look, I've got a team in contention for a wild card. I don't really want to see Tennessee. Because I feel like you could do that thing that we do, and you do it gooder than we do. Because you have a quarterback that can legitimately throw, and we have one that we have to very delicately put him on a pillow and say, here. So all the things are going right for you.
Right. The Tennessee Titans are a team that you don't want to trifle with.
No, they're very, very good.
And it still blows my mind that Vegas had that as a 13-point spread.
We all got that one right. That was one of the only clean sweep games we got right this week. We pushed most of them. Not anymore. The hook is coming back. We also have an update on something I said earlier. So I had to go back and look at this. You and I were together for the 1 o'clock games yesterday.
Yes.
We just tapped out and assumed Michael Bailey won the DraftKings contest. He didn't.
He didn't?
No. Armchair passed him.
Did he really?
He did.
Well, good for him.
Without Justin Fields. Or not without Justin Fields. Without Joe Mixon. He passed him.
Wow.
I had just written it off like nobody's catching that. He did. Armchair came back, won 181.02.
He had Kenny Walker.
He had Kenny Walker, Justin Fields, Travis Etienne, and the New England Patriots. That by itself was good enough to beat all but 9 of us. So Armchair is the one that actually now has won 2 weeks.
Wow.
I didn't even acknowledge. I saw him say it in the chat. And I went, there's no way you caught him. Oh, you did. Oh, my. Indeed you did.
Good for him.
That's why you take fantasy advice from us. That's why you take fantasy advice from us every Sunday. And Tank's here for chuckles.
That's right. I mean, I did beat you this week.
And that is, would you like to hear every other week you've done that this year? Would you like to hear it again?
Oh, no. I beat you a couple of times. And then I finished last in 3 other times. But it's fine.
There you go.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
That is the best way that could possibly be said.
Good for Armchair. I didn't know
that.
I said, I had chalked that up like you did.
I mean, he was beating all of us by 100 when I just went, well, that's not going my way today. Let's look at other lineups that do have Justin Fields and are going quite nicely.
Tennessee Titans, though, I mean, to me, it all comes back to Mike Vrabel.
Oh, great. Look, I was wrong on Mike Vrabel. He is a good coach. That's a good culture.
He's an awesome motivator. And they have been able to put together this team of just dogs, for lack of a better term.
They also have a lot of fluff to the back end of this schedule. I mean, you play the Broncos. You've got 2 with the Jaguars, the Texans. That's a lot of fluff. Could go in healthy and with some momentum into the playoffs.
And hopefully Ryan Tannehill will be ready to go.
I think he'll be fine. There was some hope that he would be able to go last night. He just couldn't. Now, there's another team in the NFL that, there's no hope there. There's none. The milk's gone bad.
Who are you talking about?
The Green Bay Packers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you watch...
Say something nice about yesterday. Anything. Anything positive that you could take away from yesterday.
Allen Lazard scored a touchdown.
Yep. I mean, I guess that is technically okay.
End of message, repeat the line. There was nothing good about that.
No. Against one of the worst defenses I think I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers threw 3 interceptions in the red zone.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like despite all of the palaver that he throws out there, just the empty words that Aaron Rodgers throws out there after a game in his press conferences and when he's on with Pat McAfee on Tuesdays.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what he has to say tomorrow.
It's going to be the same stuff.
Because this was on you. I watched enough of this game. I was sitting right beside a Packer fan.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I got enough of this. Because I thought one of the interceptions was a good play by Aiden Hutchinson until I rewatched it and went, nope, you were smoked. That was just a horrendously bad throw.
Mm-hmm. It's like he didn't even see him.
No, he didn't see him. He didn't see him. You can put this on the receivers all you want to. You've been awful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, low-key awful. Aaron Jones gets hurt in what was supposed to just be a crush spot. A.J. Dillon does nothing with the work he gets. It's awful. That team is awful.
Mm-hmm. You got a defense underperforming. The offense is listless. And you got Aaron Rodgers at the head of it all going, damn, I should have retired.
I don't know if he's quite saying that.
He is.
But he's got to be thinking this is awful.
I mean, he's obviously got 200 million reasons why
Mm-hmm.
he's not upset that he, didn't retire. But I feel like he and Tom are in the same kind of boat this year of we shouldn't have done this.
Oh, no, certainly. Neither one should have come back.
Right. You give them truth serum, and they will admit, we screwed this up.
But at least Tom's in a division that's so bad that you probably slip into the playoffs and maybe you find the fountain of youth.
Right.
I don't think people understand how bad this Green Bay situation actually is. And after the break, I'll tell you.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 40 eastbound between Fines Creek Road and US 276. 40 westbound stop and go between NC 209 and US 276. 26 westbound slow between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. On Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound in the Gibbons Estates area, expect delays and accident reported. Sardis Road, northbound between Brevard Road and the Smoky Park Highway, is slow. Checking Merriman Avenue, north and southbound near Edgewood Road, delays. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
The midterms are here. With so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis you need. Our reporters are on the ground. Steve Kornacki is at the big board breaking down the races. On election night, Rachel Maddow and our Decision 2022 team will give you a greater understanding as results come in. And the next day, Morning Joe will provide perspective on what it all means for the future of our country. Watch coverage of the 2022 midterms, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC.
At Target, you can shop with confidence knowing that if you spot a better Target price, we'll match it with our holiday price match guarantee. Pick up the hottest gifts of the season, holiday hosting essentials, and so much more right now. If you spot a better Target price, we'll match it on items purchased between October 6th and December 24th. Get the gifts you want at prices you love all season long with Target's holiday price match guarantee. Get price match policy details on Target.com. Some exclusions apply.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs?
Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
We are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. And, before we get into what's wrong with the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers, we got a super chat from Soaring Eagle.
I'm your huckleberry.
Suggestion for the next segment, we got a new choke bowl contender, and its name is the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, have no fear. We're going to talk about those Raiders.
It's horrible. 3 games now. You've had major leads, and you have tinkled away the game. Yikes. They're bad, and I still don't like any job security for their head coach.
Well, apparently, and we'll talk about this in the next hour, apparently Mark Davis is already regretting this and telling people that. That's a bad sign.
So Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, this is a team that is just, we use the term listless a lot. But, that's the best way to describe this team. It looks like Aaron Rodgers has tapped out. To me, I know he's out there saying different things. What do you expect him to do? It's always, we got to find another way. Or actually, it's not we got to find another way. It's they got to find another way. I'm good.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Here's my question with Green Bay. What do they do well?
Nothing.
They don't do anything well.
No, they don't run the ball well. They don't pass the ball well. They don't defend well.
Do you know how many teams in the NFC are behind them right now?
4.
It's 4. The Arizona Cardinals, Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions, and Carolina Panthers. Not only are you 3-6, you're 3-6 against a very, it's been a difficult schedule, but not overwhelmingly difficult. Offensively, you're very close to the New York Jets, who, by the way, don't throw it easily. You have Aaron Rodgers. And I'm going to keep saying this. I don't care about the weapons. Stop using that as a crutch. I do need somebody to explain to me, does David Bakhtiari just decide he's going to play on a whim? Like, he just wake up in the morning and go, I think I can play today, but I'm going to take the second quarter off. Then I'll be back after halftime. I got to go slam some beers in the locker room. This just looks like this is all I can think about yesterday. And we had a friend with us yesterday, Packer fan, and I felt so bad for her watching her team. This feels like a beer league softball team.
Okay.
None of you are heavily invested in this. It's very obvious there's talent. You can see it at times, but you don't care. There's no care in this team. And the thing that scares me the most about that is how young that defense is. Aaron, if it's going poorly and Captain Ayahuasca himself is not super invested, I can't say as though I'm surprised by that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised how little these young guys seem to care.
You follow the leader. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is the leader.
And I hear that.
And you take the cue from him.
I hear that. I don't know how much I believe it. You got guys that are trying to put their footprint on a spot in the league, and you just don't seem to care. Virtually nobody on that defense is playing well. I mean, I know the Lions only scored 15 points yesterday, but I watched a lot of this game. I never really felt like Green Bay was the better team. And that's saying a lot for a team that's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the Lions are trying to win. But they certainly seem to care a lot more yesterday than Green Bay did.
It's like throwing gas on a fire. I mean, it just explodes here, there, and everywhere. And when you have injuries happening at a just fantastic rate with this, I mean, they lost Christian Watson went down with an injury yesterday. Romeo Doubs went down with an injury yesterday. Aaron Jones,
somebody might want to get Sammy Watkins a playbook too, because either he doesn't know it or him and Aaron have never actually met each other.
It's a snowball effect, and when so many things are going poorly, your only hope is to have that one galvanizing voice. And it used to be Aaron Rodgers, but you got him out there throwing other players under the bus. And apparently Matt LaFleur is just hands off the wheel. Like, Jesus, take the wheel. And Jesus ain't coming.
No, I mean, and the fact that you had Aaron Rodgers throw 43 times yesterday, none of it makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, everybody blames Aaron Rodgers. That's not where my fault lies.
Is it?
Mine's with LaFleur.
LaFleur?
The offense looks completely disjointed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a phrase I use a lot, run the damn ball! They actually did it with not a ton of success, but you just completely abandoned the run game. You have two good running backs. There's this misnomer that A.J. Dillon is not a good running back. Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
He is a big version of David Montgomery. I talked about this kid ad nauseum when he came into the draft. And there's no creativity to this whatsoever. The offense looks like it fell out of 1986.
Mm-hmm.
They threw it to an offensive tackle on the 1 yard line. An offensive tackle, by the way, that's never seemingly healthy. It's just like you're just throwing everything against the wall and see what sticks. Hopefully, maybe this will work.
I mean, that's what you do when you're desperate. And
now looking at the rest,
desperate.
And looking at the rest of the schedule, we play the Cowboys next week.
It's not going to go your way.
Play the Titans, at the Eagles, at the Dolphins, and another day with the Vikings. If you win every game that you're supposed to, you're 6-11 at best.
Are there games that they're supposed to win?
I would say the Lions game you should win. You should beat the Rams because they are badder than you are. And the Chicago Bears.
I'll be honest with you, the way things are going, I would not be shocked if they didn't win another game.
We have to talk about this. We don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. I don't want to. I wish my wife loved me as much as Twitter loves Justin Fields. It's delusional at best. But after we'll talk about the Chicago Bears.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, look, we say don't do crimes. I know this isn't the crime segment, but this is I feel like this is hard to do. A 22-year-old man has been charged, and this thank you, computer. God, I hate this thing so much. A man has been charged in New Zealand for speeding. And I didn't even know cars went this fast. But he was allegedly traveling at 280 kilometers per hour. That's pretty damn fast. Now, it's only 110 kilometer zone. That's real damn fast. I don't know what a Volkswagen Golf is,
but that's a little teeny tiny
picture
car
of it here, and it looks like a souped up Kia Soul. And I only say that because there's one sitting on the parking lot that I look at every day.
Yeah, a Volkswagen Golf is just a little tiny thing.
And that's the weird part to me, because 280, this car's not even built to go but 250. Somehow, and there's no modifications to this car. That's insanity to me. I couldn't even imagine going that fast.
I drive slower than any person you've ever met in your life. I do. I drive slower than any person you'll ever meet in your life.
Absolutely, he does.
I started one of those apps. I don't even know why I did it. My wife handles our insurance. But it's the Safe Driver. Are you a safe driver? That monitors everything you do. In 3 weeks, I have yet to get a negative mark. Hard braking, none of those things. Because I drive like I'm 900 years old.
900 years old. I just don't know how you get a car to go that fast.
I mean, you can soup up anything.
But that's what I'm saying. No modifications made to this thing. That's 173 miles an hour.
I don't buy that. There is no way a Volkswagen Golf's going that fast.
That's what they say.
That's shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
I call shenanigans.
173 miles an hour.
Do you remember with Seinfeld in the mid-'90s? Jerry always said, look to the cookie. The black and white cookie.
Oh, yeah.
Was from Bagel's Bakery. Somebody died in their freezer.
Oh.
So there's the way this place is set up, they obviously keep certain ingredients in the freezer before they make the cookies and the bakery, the bagels and all those things. Well, apparently there's no latch on the inside. The guy, they don't release his name. He's a 33-year-old man. He was there to clean it. And he locked himself in the freezer, and nobody showed up for like a day. And he froze to death in the freezer. I told the story, obviously, because it's tied to Seinfeld, and that's the only reason I've ever actually heard of this place. How do you not have a latch on the inside? I've always said this about car trunks. How do you not have a button? What is the harm in having a button? Ralph Nader would be angry at this.
Ralph Nader.
I saw him on a documentary over the weekend.
On the bingo card for today. Congratulations.
I saw him in a documentary. Every time I roll my window down, I think of Ralph Nader.
Why?
He's the reason it rolls down so slow. And rolls up so slow. Did you not know this?
No.
He won a lawsuit against, I don't remember what automaker it was. They said their window rolled up too fast and some kid got his head stuck in it.
Oh.
And he sued them for like $40 million and won.
Wonderful.
That was back when McDonald's got sued for the hot coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Ralph Nader was known as the king of the frivolous lawsuit. And then he ran for president.
Oh, like the one that my wife said she heard a commercial for on the radio yesterday. Apparently there's a group trying to get a class action lawsuit together against Instagram. Have you heard about this?
Insecuregram?
Uh-huh.
Nope, I haven't. I don't use Insecuregram for anything.
The commercial was, if you have self-esteem issues, it's all Instagram's fault.
Oh,
and now, because they have, because it's full of body shaming, we're going to start this class action. I'm like, come on.
This is why I should be a judge.
That
lawsuit would not get a lot of play in my courtroom. Did they force you to use this app? No? Oh, okay.
Thank you. At least there's some sanity in this room.
Did they force you to
feel like there's any outside of it?
So let me get this straight. You put the coffee in your pants, and the lid came off, and you burned your nethers, and that's McDonald's fault. I don't think it was. I don't think that's how that worked.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Is Justin Fields good at the footballs? If you watched yesterday's Bears-Dolphins game, you might be led to believe yes. But I got a feeling Jeremy's going to tell us no, coming up after this.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mild numbers continue here in the forecast for the top of the work week, with high temps up in the 70s again for Tuesday. 52 degrees our low tonight, 71 tomorrow. Cooler Wednesday, Thursday in the 60s. And then we'll turn our attention to the south. Tropical moisture advertised to come up Friday. Could see some half-inch rains and breezy weather on Friday with temps in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 westbound between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. 40 on the eastbound side. Stop and go between Fines Creek Road and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. An accident in the stretch. Hendersonville Road northbound slow between Overlook Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Merriman Avenue north and southbound approaching Edgewood Road delays. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver traffic.
This report is paid for by North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program.
We all share the responsibility to make sure North Carolina roads are safe for everyone. We can reduce the number of people hit or killed by vehicles. Visit watchformenc.org for more safety tips.
Paid for by NCDOT.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? You know joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 with locations in Asheville and in Greenville. Again, that's 828-333-9517.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Ahoy, matey! At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety. From your local catch to flavors from around the world. Wild sashimi tuna, Charleston crab cakes, mountains of shrimp, bourbon salmon, wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa. It's enough to make any salty sea captain ready to set a course for the bounteous treasure of the Ingles Seafood Department. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears gave the Miami Dolphins yesterday all that they could handle, ultimately losing 35-32. Justin Fields setting a record, the NFL record now for the most rushing yards in a single regular season game by a quarterback. Ran for 178 yards, beating the previous high of Michael Vick with the Atlanta Falcons back in 2002, who ran for 173.
And
question is,
go ahead.
Is Justin Fields good at football? And I think the answer is yes. He may not be the stereotypical NFL quarterback, but I think he's getting better.
he couldn't get any worse. And let me ask you a question. Have you ever noticed that no team ever builds a roster this way? And I know what you're going to say, but Baltimore, they don't run like this. Lamar still had to learn to throw.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts, did you notice they got good about the time he figured out I don't have to run 20 times a game?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why? Because this is not that hard to game plan against. Now, Miami's defense, I got some questions about you.
Yep.
This will work against a bad defense, which I do believe Miami's defense is not nearly what it's cracked up to be.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a good quarterback? No. The answer is no. It's an unequivocal no, and it's not even close. He's inaccurate. He has bad feet. He has an elongated throwing motion. I can give you every reason to tell you why he's not good. Now, fantasy football-wise, he'll be phenomenal for you for about the rest of the year. But it tells me do you remember when the Dolphins broke out that Wildcat nonsense?
Mm-hmm.
And you had Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams and, oh, look, we don't have a quarterback, so we're just going to play 2 running backs.
Right.
That really tells me everything I need to know. When you had to get together with Luke Getsy and all of the offensive coaching staff and go, how in the world do we use what this kid can do? Nobody ever debated that he was fast.
Mm-hmm.
Name me a quarterback that's lived this way. In the history of the league, name me a quarterback that's lived playing the way Justin Fields did yesterday. I'll be honest with you, I didn't think he was making it out of the game alive.
I mean,
because he got hit repeatedly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Michael Vick.
Not for long.
True. Lamar Jackson.
Doesn't run like that.
No, he doesn't.
And takes way better care of himself.
Mm-hmm.
There were times I thought Justin Fields had a death wish yesterday. I mean, because he was getting absolutely planted. Great. So you could run the veer. Now, I do find the humor in that I've said that about him for about 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Did you win?
No.
Because you had every reason to. You had the best rushing game by a quarterback in NFL history. And you lost.
Mm-hmm.
Your running backs were horrid. Horrid. Because you tip off every time you're handing the ball. So Miami knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Then they figured out in the second half, we can just stick him in shotgun, spread everybody out, and all he has to do is pick a running lane. So you're running back. Great. Don't fall behind, because when you do, he's going to have to throw, and you're going to see the same quarterback you saw before.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not good. This is you're playing into the one thing this quarterback can do. Do you remember how long the Wildcat lasted? For a year, that was just the rage. Oh, everybody, Pat White, we're going to draft him to be a Wildcat quarterback. You remember how long his career lasted? I know, Pat.
6 seconds.
Yeah, because Troy Polamalu about ended his life on a sideline.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's nothing there. I watched a lot of this game as well. And most of it, I was sitting going, how is Miami this bad at tackling? How is your defense this god-awful at tackling? You know what they're doing. They can only do one thing.
Mm-hmm.
He did have a couple high-level throws.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. He had a couple good throws.
He did.
But now the reason that he had a couple good throws is because there was no progression whatsoever. It was one read. There's one guy that could actually get that ball.
Mm-hmm.
If he's not open, you take off. Do you really think that's going to win at a high level in this league?
No.
You think it's going to beat Kirk Cousins?
No.
You like that? You think it's going to beat Dak Prescott and the Cowboys or the Giants or the Eagles? Great. You can be a 6-11 franchise and be as absolutely as irrelevant as you have been for the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Is Justin Fields ever going to be a really good quarterback in this league as far as throwing the football? No. But I don't know. I mean, he can be serviceable. His stats have been getting better. And
I don't care about stats.
And that's fine. You don't have
That's
to
the
care
fantasy
about
footballification of this league.
You don't have to care about stats. When you can put up points, then you're going to have a chance. You'll at least be in games rather than getting blown out. I know that's not that's not where you want to be as a franchise. Oh, let's just be competitive. I understand that's not the goal.
No. I mean, I don't know what anybody wants me to say here.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen all this about, Justin Fields is a franchise quarterback. No, he's not.
No,
he's not.
No, because here's the thing. If he continues to do this, he will not be playing long.
And here's what I'll go down a little bit of a rabbit hole here because I've heard this, the comparison that I'm getting ready to make, I've heard this a bunch of times. It's comparing him to the other quarterbacks that went in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have him or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor.
Not even close. Would you rather have him or Zach Wilson?
Zach.
Not even close. Trey, there's not enough. You don't have enough tape there.
Yep, right.
Would you rather have him or Mac Jones?
Now that one, I'll go Justin Fields.
I was about to say that's probably because I think the upside on him is higher.
Right.
Mac Jones is Colt McCoy. That's who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So can I build an offense around you? Maybe. They have a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have some high-level receivers, and you're going to have some really good offensive linemen because that's the part nobody ever talks about. One of the reasons that teams don't base offenses around this is because it's impossible to keep a lineman healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You ever notice the line in Baltimore is always hurt? You ever notice linemen in Philadelphia get hurt all the time?
Yep.
Because you're putting them in horrible situations.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible situations.
Well,
and they get hurt at a higher rate.
Well, you're asking them to be not as good, but close to the kind of athlete that your quarterback is because they got to keep up.
It's not quite that simple. You're asking them to do things that are not why they got here.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to go out and run block. And whether it's zone or no matter what the scheme is, there's a dedicated plan. With Justin Fields, there's no plan. It's just, I'm going to snap the ball and I will figure it out. Well, the problem with that is that, the defense has no idea what you're going to do. Neither does anybody else on your team.
Mm-hmm.
So you put them in terrible situations routinely. And now this is where I ultimately wanted to go. We didn't deep dive into the Jets, and we're not going to because, I took the victory lap, and that's all we need. Did you happen to see the last, 8 minutes of the Jets-Bills game?
Mm-hmm.
It was run, 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 run. But there were two different times, third down, you got to make a high-level throw. They know it's coming because you cannot run on 3rd and 6 against this defense. Zach Wilson 2 times, darts. One to Garrett Wilson, who is just, I love him so much. I love him so much. And yes, I will say it's easier to throw to Garrett Wilson than it is to Darnell Mooney. I get that. I have never, ever seen Justin Fields make a throw like that. And you want to know why people like me cling on to a quarterback like Zach Wilson for so long? Because I've seen you do that, and I've seen you do it a bunch of times. I've just never seen you do it sustained.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Justin Fields do what he did yesterday. I've never seen him do it like that, where it was all in one game and he breaks a record for rushing yards by a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I've never doubted he could do what he did yesterday. If you go back to my evaluation of Justin Fields, I've never doubted that. At the end of the day, he had 123 yards and he lost. And that's what you're trying to convince me is a franchise quarterback. If you enjoy losing, it is. And you could lose your way all the way to being a 6-11 irrelevant franchise as long as you want to. But the quicker you figure out this kid's not a franchise quarterback, the better off you are.
So are you still on they need to draft a quarterback next year?
100% I am. 100% I am. Or you need to build this team with so many weapons that you can, if you want to continue to do this. And that's totally up to you. I would not personally do it. I've seen plenty enough. I know exactly what this kid is. I can cobble something together that makes you halfway competent. You're never going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I have no interest in being, look, we rushed for a lot of yards. That was fun. Did we have fun today that we almost beat the Miami Dolphins? Well, we lost. Oh, shucksy doodles. Lose again.
Shucksy.
It's rough to be the Bears.
Why did they turn into a Muppet all of a sudden?
I don't know. It was just because I've been inundated with Bears fans going, see, I told you were stupid about Justin Fields. What did he do that I haven't told you he could do for 2 years? Nobody ever disputed he's fast. He runs a 4.4.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to break out the wing tee? We going to try the Maryland Eye next? Come on.
When you play this way, you are obviously putting yourself in a dangerous situation. That's what I worry about with Justin Fields.
Well, and you're putting a cap on what you can be. You cannot high-level win this way. You can't.
Feel like they're even close to doing that anyway.
Okay, that's not really what I was saying. Let's say this works. All of these people that think I'm just a hater or whatever the case may be. Let's say this works the best way humanly possible. There's 17 games in a season. He had, 18 carries yesterday? 15,
yes.
18? 15.
15.
15, he got sacked twice. He was hit 4 more times. So that's 6 hits just out of the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Then he got hit 14 more times where he either slid and got hit or didn't slide at all. That's 20 hits a week. How long do you think that's going to hold up? How long are you going to do that before he's on the back of a cart going to the locker room? Because I'll give you a month at best.
I was going to say it won't be anywhere near as long as Cam Newton was able to do it.
Yeah, because he's 5 inches taller and outweighs him by about 60 pounds.
100%.
So, no, nothing changed for me. He's still the same quarterback I've always said he was. Congratulations, Bears. You only lost by 3 this week. Yippee, Skippy!
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays approaching the French Broad River. In Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. 40 on the eastbound side is slow between Vines Creek Road and US 276. An accident, Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to approaching Mills Gap Road. Heavy delays here. Hendersonville Road southbound is slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. On Merriman Avenue, north and southbound approaching Edgewood Road, traffic is slow. I'm Lemon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is paid for by North Carolina Governor's Highway Safety Program.
We all share the responsibility to make sure North Carolina roads are safe for everyone. We can reduce the number of people hit or killed by vehicles. Visit watchformenc.org for more safety tips.
Paid for by NCDOT.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer WetJet. With Swiffer WetJet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer WetJet, the faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
Okay, can I have everybody's attention for just a second?
Morgan's media planning firm just landed a multi-million-dollar client.
Because we won the pitch.
She needs to staff up before trafficking hits a traffic jam.
So we're going to need research, planning, buying, obviously, and probably data analytics.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a beggin' Christmas. We wish you a beggin' Christmas. Dog rest ye merry Doberman, let beggin' you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of beggin'. Arf, 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 arf.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday, it's beggin'!
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. And the Seattle Seahawks continue to win ball games. Now 4 in a row. And they're up to 6-3 on the year. We've talked about if it's, season ended today, Pete Carroll's the coach of the year.
No doubt.
No doubt about it. What is it about this Seattle Seahawks team that makes them so good other than the coaching?
Hey, they're just efficient. I mean, run, pass, run, pass. Mm-hmm. I got to give Pete Carroll credit. You're playing within yourself. The defense it's improved every single week.
Yep.
They've now won 4 games in a row, and none of them have ever really been in doubt. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this team's going to be in the playoffs.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Because 7 teams have to make it in the NFC, and 7 gets very New York Giant, Atlanta Falcon, Washington Commander-y very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Giants. But okay.
In college football, 6 wins get you bowl eligible. In the NFC, 9 wins get you playoff eligible.
And if you look at their schedule, they play the Bucs next week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you said it because I was fixing to.
It's a win.
Then you got a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders at the Rams, Panthers.
That's 4 wins in a row,
and that's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
We won't talk about the back half of the schedule because it's not pretty.
You can get a win
49ers
at
the Chiefs, Jets. I
was going to say you get a win in the last week of the season against the LA Rams.
But the Seahawks may be the first team to clinch a playoff berth.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds insane.
It does,
but they may be.
It does. It sounds insane. It's just a culmination of everyone doing their job. It's the thing that Pete Carroll has been the best at.
Geno Smith is hyper efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Walker keeps you on schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm not a big running back guy. I've always said I would never take one in the first round because they have very small shelf life. You got 3 teams in the NFL. One of them has no talent. That's the Houston Texans. But you have a running back like Dameon Pierce, your offense should stay on schedule all the time. Breece Hall with the Jets, Kenny Walker with the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Breece Hall obviously got hurt. That's how you draft a running back. Get a high-level guy that can keep your offense on pace because Geno Smith is never faced with a must-throw situation. You never see him 3rd and 7 where everybody knows what's coming. And you have these little Noah Fant games and Tyler Lockett. And DK Metcalf did not do a ton yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't matter. It's a lot of little drop-offs to Travis Homer and Will Disley. It's not sexy.
No. It's not sexy
efficient.
at all, but it is super efficient. You got Geno Smith still completing 73% of his passes on the season. Kenny Walker is, for whatever doubts you may have had about him going to the next level, he has answered those.
I never thought he would be this good. I'll just be honest. I never thought he would be this good.
But I think this was way more attached to scheme. The Sea Chickens as a whole are way more attached to scheme than we ever thought. Because if you watched Geno Smith yesterday, he looked like Russell Wilson of Seahawks days.
This is why Seattle was, okay, bye, Russ.
Yep.
Because we feel like we can do this with Geno Smith. They saw it last year when Russ got hurt. He can be efficient.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to be an MVP. And I'm telling you, this defense is getting to a point where it's hard to not talk about. It's young and it's good.
Mm-hmm. You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Do they win the West? Are you still on the San Francisco 49ers to make a comeback and win this division?
It's hard for me to think that San Francisco is going to catch them. I think they both make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
If Seattle can sneak a win out of them, then yeah, Seattle wins this division.
You are in the Sportsocracy. Sports Center is next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mild numbers continue here in the forecast for the top of the work week with high temps up in the 70s again for Tuesday. 52 degrees our low tonight, 71 tomorrow. Cooler Wednesday, Thursday in the 60s. And then we'll turn our attention to the south. Tropical moisture advertised to come up Friday. Could see some half-inch rains and breezy weather on Friday with temps in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays approaching the French Broad River. In Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. 40 on the eastbound side is slow between Vines Creek Road and US 276. An accident, Sweeten Creek Road southbound after the Blue Ridge Parkway to approaching Mills Gap Road. Heavy delays here. Hendersonville Road southbound is slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. On Merriman Avenue, north and southbound approaching Edgewood Road, traffic is slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Kelley Blue Book. Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer is an official offer to buy your car. Enter your vehicle ID info, answer some questions, then get a no-obligation offer to sell or trade it. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car. Schedule a time and drive away with confidence. For all of the its, KBB.com it.
It's Provember at Lowe's, and you can save up to $750 on select major appliances from Hisense. And get free delivery on items $396 or more in-store or online. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details. Offer ends 11/30.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
After the Colts offense struggled yet again, the team fired coach Frank Reich. Indy's dropped 3 in a row, is 3-5-1 on the season. One of the biggest issues for Reich throughout his nearly 5-year Colts tenure, the inability for the organization to find a successor following franchise quarterback Andrew Luck's retirement in 2019. Former Colts center and ESPN analyst Jeff Saturday named interim coach in Indy. A couple of things they're looking for from Saturday, points out ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum.
Make this team tougher, won't beat itself, more competitive, play with a little bit more passion. It just seemed like, towards the end there, things just weren't working out for whatever reason, Chris, as it related to Coach Wright. And I don't think Jeff's going to come in from day one and have all the answers. In fact, I think it'll be somewhat opposite. It's going to take a minute.
Mike Tannenbaum on Canty and Carlin. ESPN's Chris Mortensen's reporting Bills quarterback Josh Allen's being evaluated for an elbow injury to his UCL and related nerves. Coach Sean McDermott said earlier today they do have to have more information on Allen at some point tomorrow.
Halloween is over, but hiring is still a bit scary? Indeed's end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
You are in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy, always coming to you from the Ingles Studio. And we can see us everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you get all the alerts when we go live, when there's new content coming out, whenever the mock draft comes, you will
That'll
get
be
that.
Wednesday.
Wednesday is the target date for that. Obviously, tomorrow morning, fantasy fantasy pickup show, waiver wire show. We
got some bangers for this week.
David Smith from Armchair Commentary and our very own Jeremy Greene, the Mullet Man, and the Canada Dan. And, of course, Fantasy Game Time Decisions show each and every Sunday morning. It will be an early start this week with the Germany game coming up at 9:30 on Sunday morning. So
you're looking forward to being disappointed before lunch?
I'm not. Here's the thing. You can't be disappointed when you don't have hope to begin with.
You know who has hope? I have hope.
He has
Captain
hope.
Gray Shirt.
What did you say?
I called you Captain Gray Shirt.
Captain Gray Shirt. Okay.
With your puppy dog on it.
Of course. Got the puppy dog because it is a victory Monday here in the Sportsocracy.
I've
Jets
kept him
beating
off
the
this.
Bills. The Georgia Bulldogs beating the Tennessee Volunteers. Almost said Titans.
I have kept him off of this for 2 hours, and I couldn't keep him off it anymore.
No, you can't because it's daily draft time here in the Sportsocracy as we do every Monday in the daily draft. Stock up, stock down from the weekend in football, and I have the number one pick because I absolutely smoked Jeremy in the where are we going to go, the places to be in football over the weekend. I had Alabama LSU, I had Kansas State and Texas, I had the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Texas Tech TCU wasn't a bad game either.
If they would punt. Hey, Sonny Dykes, 4th and 7 on your own 40, maybe don't go for that.
Also had the Kansas upset against Oklahoma State.
I don't know that was actually an upset.
Well,
Oklahoma State was killed.
Yeah, they're killed by injury. I get it.
That looked like it honestly looked, who was it? What was his name? Dan Hawkins. So this ain't intramurals. This looked like intramurals. They looked like the Oklahoma State intramural football team.
But that did not stop the Lawrence faithful from tearing down the goalposts.
One of my new favorite stats, now that Kansas is bowl eligible, the longest tenured Power 5 school that hasn't been to a bowl game is Nebraska.
Yeah.
Lance Leipold, do you want that job? Because I don't think you do.
Anyway, number one pick, stock up, stock down. There's only one place to go. Yes, sir. Your defending national champion, Georgia Bulldogs, silencing the Tennessee faithful and all the doubters out there. Oh, Hendon Hooker, he really looked Heisman worthy this past weekend, didn't he? Didn't have much answer for that Georgia defense. Stetson Bennett, hey, dog. I do love the don't roll your eyes.
Oh, the phone thing because they put his phone number on the interwebs?
That was so great. I was like, look at Stetson. He's like got a little personality with that touchdown run to start out the game.
That's because he was CP.
He did the phone finger, and I was like, what is that all about? And then I heard the story of apparently the Tennessee fan base leaked his phone number and called him incessantly on the night before the game, to the point where he had like 700 missed calls when he woke up the next morning because he had to put his phone on ignore. And then he scores the touchdown, gives the little phone signal, hey, why don't y'all give me a call? And, yep, the Georgia Bulldogs back to number one in the country. Should have been a unanimous number one in the AP poll, but that one person from the Columbus Dispatch had to vote for the Ohio State Buckeyes as the number one team in the country, and I don't even kind of understand that. Like, how, after you saw what they did with Northwestern, I'll use the same thing that Jeremy has used for the San Francisco-Chicago game. I know it was in a hurricane, but still, you couldn't think that there's any other team that should be number one in the country this week other than the Georgia Bulldogs. It was a dominating performance, something that none of us saw coming. Georgia's number one, and it's not even close.
I don't know. There were some people that I think maybe raised their stock this week. Maybe one team from New Jersey that has a fun little chant. My first pick, #NoHomer, is the Jets, Jets.
There's no doubt in it.
That team is so much fun. I know we talk about them a lot. This is one time we talk about them a lot because they're good.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a team you're going to want to play. And if they can keep Zach Wilson reined in like that, James Robinson. Nobody's going to talk about him today because it'll be all about the defense and Josh Allen and the elbow. And I have been told the elbow is nothing to worry about. Just so we're clear. I saw somebody in the comments say something about Josh Allen's elbow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun team. And whether you make the playoffs or not, Chris D said, they lost to Mac Jones last week. Yeah, because Zach was terrible.
Yeah, your quarterback turns the ball over 3 times, then you're not setting yourself up to win.
But when they keep him within himself and you just run the ball, run, pass, and if you have to, punt, because that defense is ridiculously good. Somebody asked me yesterday, where would I put Sauce Gardner among corners in the NFL right now? Does it make me a complete homer to say number 1? I can't think of a corner I'd rather have. And I'm not talking about for the long time. I'm talking about I had to win a game right now. Who are you taking over him?
You would go Sauce.
I believe you could give me an honest answer. Who would you take over him? Jalen Ramsey just got obliterated by Tom Brady, knowing full well what they were trying to do?
No. And, you think about the big names at corner. Jair Alexander, no. He may be number 1. He may be number 1 overall.
Eric Miller said a healthy Lattimore. I could get down with that, but I think it's close.
Mm-hmm. Other than James Bradbury? Are you going James Bradbury, Darius Slay?
Darius Slay's in the conversation. I would say Patrick Surtain's in the conversation. RJ, and Chris D threw those in the comments. Eric Miller threw Lattimore out there.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all good answers. I'm just telling you, I'm watching a kid that's being asked to defend the number 1 guy every single week.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, I'm going to play a side. No, Sauce is get the guy. And they're all good. I'm looking at this kid going, you are going to be special in this league.
Yep.
Now.
Is he bordering on Darrelle Revis territory for you yet?
I think he's already Darrelle Revis good.
Really?
I said that yesterday to a Jets fan, and they went, that sounds like heresy.
It does.
And it's true.
Okay.
Now, my second one is this is a little more difficult because for me, there are a lot. And typically when we do this, very much out of the vein of my personality, I tend to be very complimentary. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take a little victory lap and say, I saw this coming. I told you. Clemson Tigers. What was that?
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame eviscerated you. I get that it was on the road. They can't move the ball, and it didn't matter. I have felt like Clemson has been going death by 1,000 paper cuts for a long time. And now the DJ thing, I tried to tell you. There is nobody that's listened to this show for more than 5 minutes can tell you I did not try to tell you this. And I don't care what Cade Klubnik is. I don't care if the guys in the locker room love DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I do not care. He is not good. And I told you it was going to catch you, and there it was. Hard to say it wasn't predictable because I predictabled it. And now the ACC is completely irrelevant in the college football playoff.
Agreed.
North Carolina goes undefeated, beats Clemson in the SEC title game. Congratulations. Welcome to the Nokia Sugar Bowl.
Well, you still have that one loss on the schedule, which is, it's a banner season for North Carolina.
No doubt.
But they will not scratch the playoff.
Somebody asked me on Twitter, what would Clemson need to still make the playoff? The SEC to be abducted by aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll get 3 teams in before you get 1.
And the Big Ten, and the Pac-12, and the Big 12. Because
the Pac-12.
Well, the Pac-12's still in the discussion, whether you like it or not.
I just love that Bo Nix is now all of a sudden. Bo Nix is a Heisman candidate because he beat the sin out of Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! You get that all those teams are bad, right?
Right.
Like they're all bad.
Mm-hmm. Oregon is averaging 43 points a game.
And that's fine.
Against the Pac-12.
And that's fine. I've already seen them play one of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
And Georgia scored at absolute will.
Yes.
I'm good. For me, I'm looking at the playoff going, there's 5 teams that can make it. Georgia's in.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State, Michigan winner is in because they're going to play Illinois in the Big Ten title game.
Mm-hmm.
That won't go well. I'm not sure that the loser of that doesn't end up in if that's their only loss. And then you catch another SEC team. Probably Tennessee. If TCU goes undefeated, maybe they get in over Tennessee, but I'm not so sure I believe that.
I believe that.
I'm not sure I could put TCU in over Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened against Georgia? Well, here's the thing. TCU, you haven't played a team that is even worth putting in that discussion. What do you think they would do to you? Because I have a good idea.
Mm-hmm. And as I said last week when we were talking about this, TCU, why are they so low in the rankings? They're undefeated. And they were 7 last week?
Yes.
And everybody
and
was
they'll be 4 this week.
Of course they will.
They'll be 4 this week, and that's fine.
Of course they will. But here's the thing. You're not dominating.
Well,
and you're having to rally in all of these
I don't necessarily
games.
need you to dominate. You got to say it out loud. If Tennessee and TCU played each other right now, what would happen?
Tennessee would win.
Tennessee would score 75 points in 3 quarters. It was just the way it would go. So their offense was neutralized by the best defense in the country.
Mm-hmm.
You played one of the better teams in the country and beat them at home.
Felt good to hear you say that.
Well, I mean, you still have a 4'7" quarterback, too.
Well, okay. That's fine. That's fine. He's got a national championship to his credit and could have another one.
Yeah, that's fine.
There was a time when you liked 4'7" quarterbacks that won national titles.
I'm trying to piece together who you're referring to here.
Charlie Ward.
Oh, no, Charlie's taller than that.
Yeah, that is true.
I met Charlie. I like Charlie.
He is a little taller than that. All right, so you're going
Clemson. Jets up, Clemson down.
Okay. My second pick, I don't feel like I can go anywhere else but talking about my family. Brian Kelly. I feel like he's already earned it. The massive contract that LSU gave him in the offseason, we all talked about it. Is it a good move? Is it a bad move? We all know he's a good coach. But he's already earned it.
Did you see the clip of him in the locker room?
Probably not.
I can't remember who. I can't remember who chimed in, but somebody chimed in and said, "This is why you came to LSU." And he threw out an obscenity that I can't say here, but he basically said, "You're exactly right," and the whole room went nuts.
Absolutely.
They all know he's weird. All right, we know Brian Kelly's a weird little dude, and he's really taxing on people, and he's got an abrasive personality. He's a good football coach.
There is nowhere else in the country, not just Brian Kelly, but any coach can go to play more and coach more impactful football than in the SEC. Non-SEC fans don't want to hear that, but it is the absolute truth. There is a reason so many national championships have come from this conference. It's because that's where the best football is being played. That's where the best recruits are going. That's where the best coaches want to be. And, Notre Dame's all nice and fun, but it ain't the SEC. That's who rules college football. And Brian Kelly took the LSU job knowing that he could win games like that. They go out and beat Alabama. And does LSU have a shot to win to make it to the college football playoff?
No.
I mean, I feel like they do.
Would need carnage.
If they won the SEC championship and a couple of other things happened, then, yeah, you got a shot.
You need Tennessee to lose again. They're not getting in over Tennessee. I don't care if you win the SEC or not. You lost to Florida State. And look, I love what Florida State did this weekend.
Right.
I believe you'll be hearing them in very short order.
Right. But that is you got 2 losses, but you kicked Alabama out of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And this is now a culture that, not that he was ever going to take a step back in the recruiting ranks, but
according to Paul Feinbaum, it's over for Alabama. It's curtains.
Oh, stop that.
I've heard him say that no less than 10 times.
Well, we all know he's just trying to get clicks and trying to get people to listen to that show.
And that's fine. I get that.
He needs more callers to run through his content. But Paul,
what do you think about Ole Miss's new fullback? I'll take your answer off the air.
Exactly.
Look, First time, long time.
Exactly. Brian Kelly, no doubt, was a winner of the weekend to me because this is what he came here to do.
And he's doing a lot with very little. That team's not crazy talented. Mm-hmm. I mean, you see the talent, but now they're not on par with Alabama. They were just really well coached and really ready for that game.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. I'll think about my next pick as we talk stock up, stock down from the weekend.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 26 eastbound between I-40 and the French Broad River due to an earlier accident. Some light onlooker delay, 26 on the westbound side near the French Broad River. 40 westbound in Haywood County, crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Brevard Road, north and southbound between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway is stop and go near the NC Arboretum. Hendersonville Road, southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road, southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
Dell Technologies Black Friday event starts early with up to 48% off business PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors, plus savings on accessories and free shipping. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey folks, DG here. Y'all know I've always loved the slogan, Smiles Change Lives, which I first heard years ago from Dr. Rebecca Merrill of Asheville Smiles. I hope you will live that slogan here in 2022. Whether it's just time for a routine cleaning, you want to learn more about Invisalign, a great alternative to braces, you need a diagnosis and treatment plan, or if you don't have dental insurance, you just want to learn more about her special membership plans. 828-251-2426 or AshevilleSmiles.com.
Best prices on new tires, quality auto repair, oil changes, NC inspections, auto diagnostics. All your needs to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape. Family-owned business serving Haywood County and the Jonathan Creek community for over 50 years. Convenience store, restaurant, full-line hardware. A one-stop shop serving all your needs. If we can't help you, we know who can. Stop by Searles Marathon at 3796 Jonathan Creek Road or call Michael Searles at 828-926-0385 for information.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Jeremy loves to be on the right side.
I do.
I've always been on the wrong side of health, but that's all changed with PhD weight loss program. Last Thanksgiving, we started with PhD, and since then, I've lost more than 90 pounds. None of my clothes fit anymore. I'm having to get a whole new wardrobe. You got a favorite shirt? I don't have that anymore. Like, I'm having to find all new favorites. But I'm good with it because that means I'm going to get to live a little bit longer.
It's ironic you brought up a favorite article of clothing because I am currently wearing a Florida State hoodie. It's been out of the rotation for quite some time because when I wore it, I looked like a wet dog trying to come in through the cat door. But thanks to the weight loss program of PhD, I'm back down to my high school weight. I'm fitting in clothes that I don't actually know why I kept.
There is a program out there that can take two of the biggest slovenly lummoxes in the history of time and make them healthier. They can definitely do the same for you. Go to myphdweightloss.com. That's myphdweightloss.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
We are back in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville. Daily Draft. Stock up, stock down from the football weekend. Of course, you knew I had to do it. Number one pick overall of the weekend. The Georgia Bulldogs. And their dominating victory over the Tennessee Volunteers.
And you know I had to do it. The Jets
That's
with
right.
their dominating victory over the Buffalo Bills.
And then he went Clemson stock down, which is quite obvious after the Notre Dame loss, knocking them and the rest of the ACC out of the college football playoff picture. And then Brian Kelly knocked Alabama out of the playoff picture with LSU's win over the Crimson Tide. And now it's time for another pick. And I hate to do this. Because I don't believe that this guy is supposed to be in this conversation.
Oh, don't do it.
But I have to.
Don't do it.
I have to. It's Bo Nix.
Oh, no.
It's Bo Nix.
That's not even who I thought that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Bo Nix. He's a winner of the weekend because now, I mean, he's on the stage. He is on the Heisman stage, whether you want him to be or not.
Is he, though?
100% he is.
Is he, though?
He is now, I believe, second best odds in Vegas to win the Heisman Trophy behind C.J. Stroud, who did not have a good week.
He's 3. Hendon Hooker's still 2.
Is he?
Yes. Hendon Hooker's still 2. Bo Nix is 3. Just I don't get it. He beat Colorado, which is a borderline FCS school. Like, calm down. I don't, why did everybody all of a sudden start getting all animated about Oregon?
Because they've won 8 games in a row.
And who's the best team they beat? In that entire run, who is the best team they've beaten?
UCLA.
Woo.
Yeah.
UCLA, who's beaten who again? Who'd UCLA beat again? You know, it's really funny.
Pac-12 is.
It's so funny to me that you cannot show me a win that any of these Pac-12 teams have that aren't against each other.
No.
They're going to go into bowl games and get smoked like a honey ham.
I agree.
I do not know why we do this. Well, there's 3 Pac-12 teams in the top 10. Woo. All right, I'll ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no wrong answer here. I'll take Oregon since that's the one you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If Oregon played, I don't know, let's go North Carolina right now. Who you taking?
I'd take Oregon.
I wouldn't.
Really?
They can't stop anybody either. Oh, look, they held Colorado to 10 points. Colorado couldn't score 10 points on a group of Girl Scouts. I'm not sure they've scored 10 points all year.
Yeah, no, I would take Oregon over Carolina.
I mean, look, I'm not saying they're not good, and you're stuck with the schedule you play, but calm down on this Oregon nonsense.
Bo Nix, 2,500 yards passing on the season, completing 73% of his passes, 22 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He's got all of the stats. I get their overinflated stats because it's the Pac-12, but they have arrived. They've arrived on the national scale now, especially with the carnage that happened over the weekend with Alabama and Clemson. Oregon's right on the doorstep of the college football playoff. And if they can run the table and win they got Washington this week, and then they got to play Utah the following week. If they beat Utah, win out the rest of their games, beat Oregon State at the end of the year in the Bedlam game, and then it's them or USC, one of the two teams is going to probably end up in the college football playoff.
I disagree with you. I see absolutely no path that either of those two things happen.
Really?
Because there's still a human element here. And at some point, all right, let's say Oregon beats USC.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you're still going to have to look at the fact they lost 49-3 against Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put that team in. I mean, it's a good story, and I like this Oregon team. I'm not trying to bash them. I just don't understand how you're putting them in this conversation. They're 5 teams. 5 and only 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what order you put them in, so long as Georgia's won. Ugh.
Feel good.
That hurt to say. On a day that I'm just unabashedly happy. It's a bad taste in my mouth. My next winner, let's go the basketball schools. Kansas and Duke, both bowl eligible. Let's go. They have made me so much money this year. It is dumb how much money I've made on those 2 schools.
Mm-hmm.
Complete turnarounds. Mike Elko, Lance Leipold, and they're fun to watch. Kansas is a fun school to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, Duke's doing stuff. They're not particularly fun to watch, but they're bowl eligible.
No, and good for Mike Elko for being able to turn that program around, or at least get them winning again.
I keep hearing Lance Leipold's name with the Nebraska job, and I cannot wrap my head around why would I leave this for that?
I can't answer that question because that's not it. If you're Lance Leipold and you're making a jump to a Power 5 or to a bigger Power 5 program, it's not going to be Nebraska. Because I feel like at this point they're on par with Kansas.
I'm going to double dip here. I've already made Clemson a loser.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make Marcus Freeman a winner.
Okay.
Marcus Freeman endured some ugly things in the first few weeks there at Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
Especially after that Marshall loss.
Oh, yeah.
And look, I still don't think that they're right, per se. You're going to have to recruit. Offensively, you're going to have to do something because that offense is painful to watch. But those kids were flying around. They looked like the better team on the field all night long. And good for Marcus Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good signature win that he can sell to recruits. And 2 years from now, hopefully you'll have the offensive weapons to keep up with the defense. The defense was very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
The offense, not so much.
Yep. My next winner of the week comes from the NFL. And no, this team didn't win, but I still feel like their stock is up, and it's higher than it's probably ever been. Well, maybe not ever, but at least recently. It's the Tennessee Titans.
I feel like they're the events of the last few days just tell me that team's making the playoffs, and I don't want to play them.
Mm-hmm. After they go up against the Kansas City Chiefs and limit that offense, at least getting into the end zone. I know that they still put up 500 yards of total offense.
I got news for you. Kansas City's going to do that to practically anybody they play.
Mm-hmm. But you kept them out of the end zone. You had a chance to win that game. If Ryan Tannehill plays that game, you win.
I would agree with that.
And there's no question. There's no question that they would have won that game had Malik Willis not been playing quarterback. Because the weapons just don't matter. The weapons matter for a rookie quarterback, but I don't feel like they matter with Ryan Tannehill in the game. They would have won that game, and you just proved that you're on par with the top teams in the league. You will be able to hang with the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, and I understand there's going to be people that say, but they were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. I get it. But I feel like we all forget that when we talk about Tennessee. Oh, it's just Derrick Henry and a bunch of dudes. No, I don't feel like that's true. Maybe on offense, sure. But that defense is turning things around. They're getting better. They're growing together as a team. And Mike Vrabel is a hell of a coach. Tennessee Titans, to me, have to be a winner of the weekend.
You got any losers or just everybody winning this weekend?
Well,
you're just in a good mood.
I am in a good mood. I'm in a good mood, but I will have, yes, okay, I'll pick a loser of the weekend. Didn't want to do this because it kind of ruins one of our next segments, but to me, it's not really all that close. Loser of the weekend in the NFL, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. This team is horrible. 2-6, they went on the road to the Jacksonville Jaguars, had a 20-7 lead, and ended up losing 27-20. I feel like that's hard to do. That's the third time they've done it this year, where they have had a 3-score lead on a team and ended up losing.
And after you really got Devontae Adams involved early, he had 8 targets, 1 catch, 3 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Against a team that can't stop him. It just doesn't make any sense.
It just feels like it gets worse and worse and worse every week for this team. I feel like this is the third time that I have had them in the losers of the week.
It's the third time they've been blanked and a half,
mm-hmm.
which is, in the NFL at this point, that is hard to do.
Mm-hmm. And when you have...
and that team's so talented.
Right. When you have the weapons at your disposal and you just can't get anything out of them. And I don't blame the players. I blame the coach. Josh McDaniel is a horrible, horrible NFL coach. And we'll talk more about that in a minute.
I tried. I tried to not do it. I wanted to not do it.
Oh, God.
Oh, you know.
I know what's
you
coming.
know. Hit that
hang
button.
On. Hashtag no homer.
To not just beat Miami, to physically embarrass them. Best team in Florida. I said it 3 weeks into the season. Bowl eligible again. Let's go Seminoles. Buying into Mike Norvell again. Jordan Travis for Heisman. Let's go. Man, I couldn't stand him before this year either.
Oh, no.
Such a leap. I mean, look, that's a rivalry game. There's not a lot of places that understand. In the state of Florida, Florida State, Miami, Florida is like Carolina, Duke, NC State in basketball here.
Mm-hmm.
Those are huge games. Stephen Taus, stop that.
What'd he say?
Said best in Florida. Funny way to say UCF. UCF will get beat by Florida State by 60. Calm down on UCF nonsense.
He's not wrong.
They're playing a banger schedule in the American. The Fighting Mike Houston's beat them by 3 touchdowns. And I love Mike, and I love that team. Also bowl eligible.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay, come on. Best team in Florida, to me, unequivocally, you get Florida at the end of the year. And if I'll be honest with you, if Florida State has a year where you go 8-4 and you physically just pound Miami and you do the same to Florida, that's a win.
It's a win. Florida State Seminoles, your final winner of the week.
And it felt good to have Florida State and the Jets both in winners.
From Mr. Jeremy Greene.
That hasn't happened many times in my life.
Now it's that time for the most important message of the day. And that message, Jeremy, is...
Don't do crimes!
Don't do crimes. Jeremy, what's your story?
I don't have it pulled up. That's the...
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
My computer decided to just absolutely...
Yeah, so did mine. That's why I pitched it to you. Screw it. We'll go to a break. We'll come back with the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mild numbers continue here in the forecast for the top of the work week with high temps up in the 70s again for Tuesday. 52 degrees our low tonight, 71 tomorrow. Cooler Wednesday, Thursday in the 60s. And then we'll turn our attention to the south. Tropical moisture advertised to come up Friday. Could see some half-inch rains and breezy weather on Friday with temps in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound stop and go between Brevard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound crawling between I-40 to just after Brevard Road. 26 on the westbound side slowing between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. In Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweden Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between I-40 and Overlook Road. Near the NC Arboretum, Brevard Road southbound between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Clayton Road is very slow. And Merriman Avenue, north and southbound near Edgewood Road, delays. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Tyson Furniture.
At Tyson Furniture, we have a huge selection of furniture, honest values, and great service. We're a big store, and Black Mountain has wonderful restaurants and interesting shops to explore. Visit us at Tyson Furniture in Black Mountain, where beautiful homes begin.
The midterms are here. With so much at stake, MSNBC has the in-depth coverage and analysis to give you a greater understanding. Watch coverage of the 2022 midterms, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
We'll do it
live.
Stephen Townsend, a crime story from your life. I think I've told that story like 6 times.
And I wish I had a cool crime story to tell, but I don't do crimes. I'm not that kind of guy.
I had no less than 7 jokes, and I'm sure at least 5 of them would have gotten me fired right there.
Most important message of the day: don't do crimes. Springfield, Missouri. 2 people are facing misdemeanor charges after stealing clothes from Ross's Dress for Less. Now, that doesn't sound weird, does it?
No.
No, but the how this all went down, to me, is absolutely hilarious. So they had it all mapped out, right? So you go in, you steal some stuff. I'm going to go in, I'm going to steal some stuff. And then we're going to get in separate cars, and they will never be able to follow us because there's 2 of us. You know what they did?
Called a second cop?
Nope. They crashed into each other in the parking lot.
Yep. That makes even more sense.
I'm going to go that way, you go this way, and they went the same way and crashed into each other, not in the parking lot, but right outside the parking lot, about a block away from the store, and crimes, and you're going to jail. Hilarious. I love stupid criminals so much.
I'm a huge fan.
And I mean, that's karma.
My story comes from the National Park Service. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers is not the only one that likes different psychedelic drugs. They've had to issue a warning. I'm going to read it verbatim. As we say with most things you come across in a national park, whether it's a banana slug, unfamiliar mushroom, or a large toad with glowing eyes in the dead of night, please refrain from licking things you find in a park. So there's a poisonous...
You toad licker!
So there's a poisonous Sonoran desert toad. It's also known as the Colorado River toad.
Okay.
Apparently now its secretions have become so in vogue that it's almost extinct. So many people are licking frogs that the frogs are almost extinct. Stop doing weird things, okay? A, crimes. B, death. C, just why? I don't know it. I mean, look, I was really stupid in my younger years. I'm not sure I was ever at a lick a frog point.
Yeah, no. I don't care how high this toad's going to get me. I'm not licking a frog.
I'm at Seacrest out. No. No.
Now, if you milk the toad and put it in some tea or something, Aaron Rodgers style, then maybe we
no. Maybe it's still toad juice. Stop being weird.
I'm just saying.
One of its biggest aficionados, Iron Mike Tyson, who told the New York Post last year the toad's whole purpose is to reach your highest potential. Saying he first tried it as a dare and has since used it recreationally. Anything Mike Tyson is doing just on a Tuesday, I think I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm out.
Yep. Not good.
Don't lick things you find in a park.
Jason Trump says, see what happens when pot's legal? You got to go lick toads.
That's actually a solid point. Don't do that.
That's crimes. Don't do that. I mean, I don't know what they would charge you with. I mean, is that like animal cruelty? Is that... Where's the crime there?
How about licking a frog? That should be a crime.
That's not... I mean, never mind.
Don't lick things.
Yeah.
Those are words to live by, kids.
Don't lick things.
Don't lick things.
Yeah.
Need that on a shirt.
Yeah. All right, so yesterday the Las Vegas Raiders go down to Jacksonville. They got a 13-point lead and then just let it slip away. End up losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Can it get worse? Is the question I have.
Oh, they're done. That team's done like dinner. You're going to see an unraveling here that we have not seen the likes of in a long time.
Well, I mean, they obviously don't have a shot at making the playoffs in the AFC. But I feel like this thing is done. And when I say done, I mean like blow it up now. I get you're only 7 games or 8 games into Josh McDaniel, but there is no question that this is done.
Well, I mean, the problem would be at that point, who takes your job? If you're that quick on the trigger, then who's going to take the job? And obviously, you'd have to fire the GM because they came together.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what do you do with you didn't have a lot of players in the draft class last year, but so you just scrap it and do it again?
I think so.
I don't think Josh McDaniels is this bad of a coach, but there is something horribly wrong here. For a quarter, it looked great, and then it didn't.
But it was. I just come back to what happened last year with this team. Remember, they had all the problems and the John Gruden thing and Henry Ruggs and Damon Arnett, and you're just listless. And then Rich Bisaccia takes over, and you find a way to make the playoffs. Now you've added who I feel like is still the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL, and you can do squat with it.
Well, he had a large first half.
He did.
And then he didn't do squirt.
I'm dumbfounded.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I am too. And Darren Waller, just, hey, buddy, you ever plan on playing again?
Mm-hmm.
Or just you done? You just don't want to do it no more? Okay.
Speaking of tight ends, who did play yesterday, T.J. Hawkinson. It's a hell of a pickup for the Minnesota Vikings.
I was right on that game for 58 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wasn't.
Nope. Minnesota Vikings found a way to win yesterday against the Washington Commanders on the road, 20-17. It was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But T.J. Hawkinson.
I had that. And I was right for a long time.
Had himself a hell of a debut for his new team. And I think once they can get a groove going, I'm not sure there's too many teams in this league that's going to be able to stop them. I've been the biggest but guy about Minnesota. And no, beating the Washington Commanders is not what tipped me over the edge.
Can we talk about the Washington Commanders are better than you think? I've been saying this for weeks.
They are.
And I can't really explain why. Because the offense is still clunky.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis Samuel with a very large touchdown yesterday, which helped me across much of the fantasy world.
Mm-hmm. Washington's
better than people think. And Kirk Cousins showing up just full vanilla ice on the plane last night. I'm here for it.
You're here for it.
Did you see him? He had like 40 chains on, just shirtless. It looked like they were housing domestic lights after he beat his former team.
As they should. 7-1 is something to damn sure be proud of. Your one loss coming to the best team in the league, in the Philadelphia Eagles. And you're going to... I don't know if they're going to be able to turn it into postseason success.
This team's very good. This team's very, very good.
How far can they go, though?
Because, honestly, they did not play particularly well yesterday. They were very one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And you won a game that you probably shouldn't have on the road. Those are statement wins. They're not just really hamming this up because this is Kirk's former team. This is a good win.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you this game was going to be closer than people thought.
You did.
That Washington defense is getting right. And there's a lot of talent on that team. Another team where there's a lot of talent, and it did not look particularly good yesterday, the Los Angeles Chargers. What was that? Like, what was that?
What was that?
What exactly was that?
He went full Jerry Seinfeld.
What are
is
we
the
doing? They gave up like two and some change rushing to the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, you still won the game, but did you? I mean, you get the win, but do you really walk away from that going, yeah? Atlanta, who is one of the worst rushing teams in the NFL, averaged 5.5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert had to bail you out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know I had to say this. It is officially
Josh Palmer
season, baby!
God.
Dog.
Yeah, he's not bad at the footballs. But again, I mean, the Chargers defense, this is what I have been saying for the last 3 weeks. Of this team is supposed to be better than this.
I can't figure out how this defense is that bad. With as much talent as you have, how are you that bad?
Don't know. Still in the same position of can't stop the run. But you're winning a close game.
And that's
when you
fine.
win a close game, that shows me there's some improvement here.
And that's fine, but do you know who's next up on their have you looked at their schedule for the rest of the year? This is a team can't stop the run to save their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You play at the 49ers. It's Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs.
They can't run the ball. They can't run the ball.
I think they can against the Chargers.
Oh, they probably will be.
Cardinals. They're great.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs with the Raiders. Raheem Mostert, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor. That's a lot of teams that run the ball really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then look around who you could potentially be playing in the playoffs. Jets run the ball pretty well. Tennessee runs the ball pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
It scares me.
You make the playoffs.
The Chargers need Justin Herbert to be otherworldly good. And statistically, he did not look that good. He is the reason they won this game.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Josh Palmer. Future Pro Bowl wide receiver. And one of my personal favorites.
One of your personal favorites. Yes, we all know. The Los Angeles Chargers.
Hey, one of my personal favorites just went, 8 and a hundy. DPJ, yeah, he's maybe had that all in his career. So, just saying.
The Chargers are winning games, though, and that is all that matters. It doesn't matter how you get the W. As long as you get the W, you'll be able to make the playoffs. And winning close games like that, I mean, that's the hallmark of an improving team.
Well, I mean, no doubt. And Alex Majabi said in the comments that we're the most injured team in the league. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't stop the run when you weren't hurt. This is not we're missing blank. You didn't do this well, period.
No. You retooled the defensive line to stop the run, and it has not worked.
And it may actually be worse.
Mm-hmm.
But, look, Justin Herbert is still a man amongst boys. He is very, very good at the footballs.
That he is. You got Monday Night Football coming up tonight. The Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints. Jeremy will have his picks of the night coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue, 240 westbound, then stop and go between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound, stop and go between I-40 and Bavard Road. Again, 26 eastbound, slowing near Long Shoals Road. Haywood County, 40 westbound, stop and go between NC 209 and US 276. On Brevard Road northbound, traffic is stop and go between Sardis Road and I-26. Near Bent Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound, stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Clayton Road. Hendersonville Road southbound, stop and go between I-40 and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by NetSpend All Access Account. NetSpend All Access Account. Get the account designed for your everyday mobile banking needs. Banking services provided by an account established by Pathward NA. Member FDIC. Deposit account opening is subject to registration and ID verification. Terms and costs apply.
Let me guess. Unknown caller? You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
In 2015, a rookie racer became the first Indigenous driver ever in the NASCAR Cup Series. A few months later, though, he was arrested in the largest police operation in Canadian history. Now he's fighting his case in court, and it may change the future of Native rights.
It's not only my fight, it's the whole nation's fight.
From Campside Media and Dan Patrick Productions, this is Running Smoke. Listen on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Coffee still closes on. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Monday Night Football, which means it's time for bangers. Baltimore Ravens, New Orleans Saints. Baltimore's a 1.5-point favorite. Over under 46.5. I low-key think this could be more of a shootout than people think. I don't love Baltimore's defense. There's just a lot of problems on the back half. I could see it's two good defenses, so you could see some short fields. I'm going over the 46.5. I do like Baltimore to win, so I'm taking Baltimore minus the 1.5. My favorite play of the night, Isaiah Likely, first touchdown scorer, plus 900. They are going to feature him early. They are going to feature him often. If you have him in fantasy football, this is going to be a good day for you. Ravens minus the 1.5, over the 46.5. Isaiah Likely,
First player to score a touchdown at plus 900.
And take those wagers to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put into the account up to $2,500. Deshaun Jackson's being elevated for tonight's game, seeing as how there are only 3 wide receivers that are healthy on this team.
But they have 4 tight ends, so it'll be
That's
plenty
true.
of pass catchers.
That's true.
Well, 3 without Mark Andrews. Apologies.
And Charlie Kohler's still out there somewhere.
I think he should be active tonight.
Ooh,
they activated him a few weeks ago.
Did they? Okay.
He's been inactive on game day, but I think he'll play a role tonight.
Okay. All right.
I like Baltimore. I like both these teams. Should be a fun night. Over under has been pushed down too much.
Enjoy the Monday Night Football action. We will be back with you tomorrow at 3 here on ESPN Asheville and on YouTube for a Power Rankings Tuesday. Will the loss by the Buffalo Bills knock them off the number 1 perch? We have to wait and see. We'll see you then.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mild numbers continue here in the forecast for the top of the work week with high temps up in the 70s again for Tuesday. 52 degrees our low tonight, 71 tomorrow. Cooler Wednesday, Thursday in the 60s. And then we'll turn our attention to the south. Tropical moisture advertised to come up Friday. Could see some half-inch rains and breezy weather on Friday with temps in the mid-60s. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 240 westbound again, light delays between Bavard Road and I-40. 26 eastbound stop and go between I-40 and Bavard Road. Haywood County, 40 westbound stop and go between NC 209 and US 276. Bavard Road northbound stop and go between Sardis Road and I-26. In the Benton Creek area, Bavard Road southbound is stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Clayton Road. Hendersonville Road southbound stop and go between I-40 and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road.